After a 6-month business trip, my wife jumped into my arms and said she wanted a child. But this move aroused my suspicion. Could she already be pregnant and want me to raise another man's child? After all, I travel a lot. She could bring other men home and I wouldn't know. To clear my wife's name, the next day I installed cameras in every room of the house. I told my wife the company had urgent business and I needed to travel. Then I went to a pre-rented apartment. I opened my phone and started monitoring every move at home. For a whole week, my wife acted normal until the 8th day. After putting on heavy makeup, she left the house happily. I immediately thought she was going on a date, so I drove a rented car and kept a close eye on the main entrance downstairs. Soon, I saw my wife's figure. I got out of the car and followed her cautiously. I found her destination was the market. I breathed a sigh of relief. An hour later, my wife returned home with a big bag of groceries. I went back to the car to continue observing. In the footage, after putting the groceries on the table, she took out her phone and dialed a number. When are you coming? 3 more hours? Oh cool. I know who's coming. My heart immediately jumped into my throat. I endured 3 agonizing hours. Suddenly, there was a knock at the door. My wife happily went to open it. A man walked into the living room. Looking at that man, my mind went blank. I knew this person. He was my wife's company leader, Yang Jun. Watching them eat and laugh together, as intimate as a married couple, I felt like my head was about to explode. I really wanted to rush up and beat that scumbag and slut, but reason told me to wait. I had to catch them red-handed. An hour later, they finished eating and went to the bedroom. At that moment, though I was burning with rage, it didn't show on my face at all. I smiled, but it was a bitter smile. I never expected it would come to this. I worked my ass off to make money, just to give her a home. I suffered so much for that 300,000 down payment. Finally bought a house and got married. It's only been a year, and she does something like this. Watching the disgusting scene on my phone, a creepy smile slowly spread across my face. Then, I exited the surveillance feed. Using a SIM card registered to a friend, I called the police. I want to report a crime. Building 6, Unit 502, Tianjin Garden Residential Area. It sounds like a woman is being assaulted. I can hear faint screams from a woman inside. If you don't come soon, she might die. Please don't reveal my identity. I'm afraid the criminal will come after me for revenge. After hanging up, I called a reporter. There's a hot sheetery here. A major crime is happening in Building 6, Tianjin Garden. Get here fast. I ignored the reporter's questions and hung up directly. I sat in the car, lit a cigarette, and said to myself, Lu Li, I'm willing to ruin my own reputation. Let's play this game slowly. I switched my phone back to the disgusting scene, watching and commenting. He's not handsome, and his body isn't as good as mine. But at least he's a project managio. Probably makes a bit more money than me. Lu Li, if you betrayed our marriage for this. I really was blind. Soon, several police cars arrived. With the police's arrival, people from all over the neighborhood started paying attention. Gossip is human nature. Shortly after the police went up, I saw the reporter with his camera following them. I smiled even wider. As I laughed, a few tears rolled down from the corners of my eyes. About half an hour later, the police brought Lu Li and Yang Jun, fully dressed, into the police car. That clever reporter hid in the crowd and took photos. The surrounding people were also posting on their phones. I heard it was a home invasion and sexual assault. That man is a real scumbag. Bullshit. Where did you hear that? Let me tell you. That woman lives upstairs from me. Her husband is always on business trips, and when he's away, I often hear noises from upstairs. She's clearly cheating. I was planning to tell her husband when I got the chance. Now, her husband must be furious. I'm sure they're both going to be famous now, and I'll get a taste of being a celebrity too. My goal was achieved. Now I just had to wait for the police to notify the family to pick her up. I really wanted to see the look on my wife's face when she saw me. Not long after I returned to the rental apartment, I got a call from the police. This is the Nanchang City Public Security Bureau. Are you Mr. Wang? I smiled to myself, but answered in a confused tone. That, this is he. What's the matter? We received a report that your wife was assaulted. But before the officer could finish, I interrupted him anxiously. Are you saying my wife was attacked? My wife is Lu Li, right? The officer tried to calm me down. Sir, please don't get excited. How can I not be excited? What happened to my wife? After being interrupted twice, the officer raised his voice this time. Sir, please listen to me. Your wife was not assaulted. I pretended to breathe a sigh of relief. That's good. Thank goodness Lu Li is okay, but she cheated on you. After our investigation, it was consensual. That inappropriate statement left me silent for a long time. I pretended to be devastated. Mr. Wang, are you alright? I know this is hard to accept. But you need to be strong. Don't do anything stupid. My voice was filled with bitterness. I'm fine. It's just, this news came so suddenly. I need some time to process it. By the way, you didn't tell my in-laws, did you? Her parents are both over 50. They're not in good health and might not be able to handle the SOC. There was a moment of silence on the other end, then, my colleague already called them. They're on their way here now. A faint smile tugged at the corner of my mouth. I pretended to be anxious. I'll be there right now. After saying that, I hung up. I tossed my phone on the bed and lay down. Lu Li, let's see how you face your parents. I remember your dad has a heart condition, right? I wonder if this will kill him. After a cold laugh, I started thinking about what attitude to take when I saw them. I waited until midnight. Then I packed up and went to the police station. As soon as I got out of the car, I put on an anxious expression. I rushed into the police station, holding back my anger. Lu Li was sitting on a chair, her eyes vacant. The moment she saw me, she lowered her head in shame. After talking with the police officer, I slowly walked over to my wife. I gently took her hand. Lu Li tried to pull away, but I held on tight. I asked softly, Honey, can you tell me why? Wasn't I good enough to you? Lu Li turned away and just stayed silent. I was about to say something when my phone rang. After glancing at it, I said to Lu Li, it's Mom and Dad. You don't have to tell me the truth, but you'd better think about how to explain this to them. After saying that, I walked aside to answer the phone. What? Dad had another heart attack? I'm at the police station. I'll bring Lu Li over right now. I turned to look at Lu Li. What are you standing there for? Let's go. Your dad is in the hospital because of you. We'll talk about us later. On the way to the hospital, I rolled down the window and let the cold wind blow on me for a while. Then I suddenly asked Lu Li, are you pregnant? Lu Li stared blankly out the window and didn't say anything. I continued, if you still want this marriage to work, get rid of the child. I don't believe it's mine. And I'm not going to raise another man's child. Lu Li remained silent. This blow was probably too much for her to handle right now. I drove to the city hospital. We found my mother-in-law, Wang Xiuqin, waiting outside the emergency room. Lu Li's uncle was also sitting nearby. I knelt down in front of my mother-in-law. I asked in a tense voice, Mom, how is Dad? Is he in danger? Wang Xiuqin looked at me, grabbed my hand, and said, Xiao Wang, I'm so sorry. It's our fault for not raising our daughter properly. We've brought shame on you. Mom, we'll talk about this later. You haven't paid for Dad's surgery yet, have you? I'll go pay for it. Wang Xiuqin grabbed my hand. She said, somewhat ashamed, Xiao Wang, how can we take your money? I patted her hand and said, Mom, you and Dad have always been good to me. I'm an orphan. You two made me feel what family is. Even without Lu Li, I should still pay. I gently pulled my hand away from hers. I turned and walked towards the payment counter. My mother-in-law watched my back, opened her mouth, but couldn't say a word. Her guilt was overwhelming. My mother-in-law walked over to Lu Li. Lu Li lowered her head and timidly called out, Mom. Don't call me Mom. I don't have a shameless daughter like you. Wang Xiuqin raised her hand and slapped Lu Li hard. Xiao Wang is such a good child. And you still did this? Think about how you're going to explain yourself. Lu Li grabbed Wang Xiuqin's hand and cried, Mom, I'm sorry. I was bewitched. Please forgive me this once. Wang Xiuqin pulled her hand away forcefully. She ignored her daughter. She went back to her chair, worriedly watching the operating room. After paying, I walked back. As soon as I got out of the elevator, I saw Lu Li standing alone in a corner. A faint smile curled on my lips. I walked over and sat next to my mother-in-law to comfort her. Don't worry, Dad will be fine. I've already paid for the surgery. If it's not enough, I'll pay more. Wang Xiuqin was both ashamed and moved. Xiao Wang, we've wronged you this time. Even if you want to divorce Xiao Li, we have nothing to say. We won't take a penny from you. We'll find a way to pay you back for the medical bills. Mom, let's talk about this when we get home. At that moment, Lu Li hesitated. After struggling for a while, she slowly walked over. Without hesitation, she knelt down. In a tearful voice, she said, Honey, I'm sorry. I was wrong. Please forgive me this once. I was just momentarily blinded. I promise I'll never do anything to hurt you again. I kept a straight face and helped Lu Li up. We're in the hospital. Let's talk about this at home. But Lu Li kept crying and hugging me. My mother-in-law stood up and slapped Lu Li again. Get up. Haven't you embarrassed us? This is a hospital. Lu Li looked at Wang Xiuqin and SOC. She thought that with her mother there, she could play the victim and force me to forgive her. Even a fake word of forgiveness would give her some hope. But she never expected her own mother wouldn't take her side. I showed a contemptuous smile. I knew exactly what she was thinking. It was just a childish trick. Someone who would throw away their own reputation wouldn't be bothered by a few strange looks. We waited all night. Finally, my father-in-law was brought out of the operating room. He was still unconscious in a hospital room. I looked at them and said, Mom, you and Uncle are old. Go get some rest. I'll watch over him. No, Xiao Wang, you must be tired too. You go home and rest. And you need to go back and settle things with Lu Li. Seeing my mother-in-law insist, I didn't argue. I went downstairs, bought some breakfast, and then took Lu Li home. When we got home, Lu Li didn't even change her shoes. She walked straight over to me and knelt down. Honey, I was wrong. I'll never do it again. A flicker of disgust passed through my eyes. But I didn't help her up. I'm curious why you did it. Was it really because you couldn't stand the loneliness? Honey, I really am wrong. I promise I'll never do it again. And you think I can trust your promise? Lu Li didn't answer. But I already guessed. I'm away from home so often. A woman with her looks wouldn't lack for suitors. Lu Li couldn't hold back her tears anymore. She reached out and hugged my leg. Honey, please give me one more chance. I'll make up for this mistake. I'll quit my job tomorrow. I'll be a full-time housewife. Honey, just hit me. It'll make you feel better. I pushed Lu Li away and just looked at her. I raised my hand as if to slap her hard. Lu Li closed her eyes and didn't dodge. But when my hand came down, there was no sound. I had softened the blow into a gentle caress. I gently stroked her cheek, my eyes tender. How could I hit you? I can't bring myself to do it. Lu Li hugged me again, unable to control herself. Honey, please forgive me. Don't divorce me. Let's just lie a peaceful life from now on. We'll see how you behave. If I just forgive you this, I won't be able to lie with myself. Lu Li was overjoyed. I'll do my best. I promise you'll see a change in me. Although I didn't say I forgave her, I also didn't forcefully demand a divorce. That meant there was still hope. I carried Lu Li to the bedroom. Looking at the bed, I suddenly stopped. Lu Li was smart. She knew that bed reminded me of something bad. She quickly got out of my arms and said, Honey, don't look at it. I'll get rid of this bed right now. I didn't say anything. I just turned and walked to the balcony. Lu Li watched my back but didn't come over. She knew I needed to be alone. After calming down, Lu Li started calling people to move things out. She also ordered new furniture. Of course, she paid for it all herself. By noon, everything in the house that was an eyesore had been replaced, especially that bed. Lu Li came over to me. She timidly called out, Honey, dinner is ready. I walked to the table with a blank expression. After eating, we took lunch to the hospital to see her parents. I found a table and laid out the food. Wang Xiuqin frowned and asked, Where's that brat? I explained. Lu Li is outside. She's afraid her dad will have another attack if he sees her. So she didn't come in. Wang Xiuqin scolded. If she was worried about that, she wouldn't have done such a shameless thing. I just smiled, as if I wasn't angry at all. While they were eating, I sat by the hospital bed and watched over my father-in-law. I don't know if it was my imagination, but I thought I saw my father-in-law's finger twitch. When I blinked, I saw that his eyes were open. I quickly went over and said, "Dad, you're awake. Do you feel any discomfort?" My mother-in-law and uncle, who were eating, heard my voice. They quickly put down their bowls and came over. Lu Li was outside the hospital room, peeking in. Wang Xiuqin went over and asked, "Old Lu, how are you feeling? Any discomfort?" Lu Hua was still weak, but he looked sternly at the people around him, not seeing who he wanted to see. He said angrily, well. My daughter, whom I raised for so many years, is less reliable than my son-in-law. I'm lying here sick, and she doesn't even come to see me. I explained, no, it's not like that. She's right outside. She was afraid that seeing her would make you sick again, so she didn't dare come in. Lu Hua said in a deep voice, "Tell her to come in." I glanced at Wang Xiuqin, then walked outside the hospital room. I pulled Lu Li inside. Lu Li looked at her stern father. She lowered her head, both ashamed and scared. In a voice as soft as a mosquito's, she called out, "Dad. Don't call me Dad. I don't have a shameless daughter like you." Lu Li fell to her knees with a thud and cried, "Dad, I was wrong. I really know I was wrong. I have to admit, I kind of admired her. Look how practiced that kneeling motion was." Lu Hua struggled to sit up, but his body was too weak. He looked at Lu Li and said, "Xiao Wang, I know you're angry. Slap her for me." I stared at Lu Hua, not knowing how to respond for a moment. I really wanted to do it, but I was worried it might be a trap. Seeing that I wasn't moving, he continued, "What, are you afraid to hit a woman? Are you even a man?" Since he put it that way, I didn't hesitate anymore. I raised my hand and slapped Lu Li hard across the face. The sharp sound of the slap echoed in the room. Lu Hua's expression finally softened a bit. He was forcing me to hit his daughter. He wanted me to let out all my anger. Only then could this marriage be saved. Even though Lu Li had been slapped hard, she was happy because I hit her. It meant she still had a chance to be forgiven. Keep going. I slapped her again on the other cheek. Keep going. But this time, I stopped. Looking at Lu Li's swollen cheeks, I pleaded, "Dad, that's enough. You've hit her. Please calm down." Lu Hua turned his head and looked out the window. "Since you're pleading for her, I'll let it go. Take her home. I don't want to see her anymore. As for the two of you, whether you divorce or stay together, it's your decision. We won't complain." I opened my mouth, but in the end, I didn't say anything else. "Dad, get some rest. Call me if you need anything." After saying that, I took Lu Li and left the hospital room. Lu Li followed behind me, as obedient as a child. I looked at her swollen cheeks. I reached out and touched them. This still hurt. Lu Li's eyes were red, and she kept shaking her head. "Come with me. I'll take you to get that treated." After that, I took Lu Li to the doctor. Looking at her haggard appearance, I said, "Since we're here, let's get you a full checkup." Lu Li looked at me. She knew there was no point in arguing. She cooperated and got a full physical examination. Lu Li wanted to prove the facts that she wasn't pregnant. When I got the results, I glanced through them, then tossed them to Lu Li. "Let's go. We're going home." A smile appeared on Lu Li's face. She followed me, full of joy. Before, when we walked together, we were always side by side, or Lu Li was in front. This time, Lu Li walked behind me. The balance of power in this house had shifted. When we got home, I sat on the sofa and wrote my resignation letter. Because this job required constant travel. If I'm not home, how can I work on our marriage? So quitting was inevitable. Lu Li started cleaning the house as soon as she got home. She didn't dare to let herself be idle. She had to prove her worth, but she also didn't dare to disturb me, afraid of making me angry again. Actually, if Lu Li had asked for a divorce right then, my subsequent plans wouldn't have worked. But she didn't have the courage to face the accusations from her relatives. Now he can be said to be famous in Nanchang. The moral condemnation he now faces is enough to ruin his life. Liu Li can only hide behind me now, barely surviving. I watch Liu Li as she busies herself. A cold smile curls at the corner of my mouth. I order her around like a servant. "Pour me a cup of tea." Liu Li quickly puts down her work and goes to pour me tea. Now she can only try her best to please me and not let me bring up divorce. After a while, she brings a cup of tea and places it on the table beside me. Glancing at the computer screen, she asks, "Honey, are you going to quit your job?" I retort, "No, I'm not quitting." "So you can cheat on me again?" Although it was a taunt, Liu Li was actually very happy inside. She knew I had forgiven her in my heart. Otherwise, I wouldn't have used the word again. "Honey, what do you want for dinner? I'll cook it for you." After casually writing the resignation letter, I clicked send. Soon after, my bot called. "Xiao Wang, I saw your situation on the news. Even so, there's no need to resign. I can give you a few days off to handle the divorce." I looked up, glanced towards the kitchen, and said, "So Ri, I'm not planning to get a divorce." The person on the other end seemed stunned and said in disbelief, "What are you thinking? With your current situation, it's not like you can't find another woman. And you're still young. Can't you show some youthful spirit?" "I have my own thoughts, and she's my first lop. I can't let go. That's it. Please approve my resignation. We'll talk again sometime." After saying that, I hung up. At that moment, I clearly heard the chopping sounds in the kitchen become lighter. I said those words for her to hear. Then I opened the internet to browse for information. As soon as I logged in, I saw what happened last night. After scrolling to the comments section and glancing at it, I saw it was full of insults. I felt relieved. Expressionless, I exited the EP, turned off my phone, closed my eyes, and began to think. Now that I've lost my job, it's time to find a new one. Otherwise, this 100,000 yuan won't last long. But this new job needs to be close to home. After eating, I drove to the hospital to deliver food. This time, I didn't bring Liu Li. Now it's time to give her some space alone. Through the surveillance camera, I saw Liu Li sitting on the sofa, hugging her knees. Her phone screen was glowing faintly. She was obviously looking at her phone, but after a short while, she started crying, holding her head. I knew she was watching the videos and insults online. Already breaking down? This is just the beginning. I sneered and turned off my phone. I focused on driving to the hospital. Carrying the dinner, I walked into the ward. Dad, Mom, let's eat first. Lu Hua looked at me and said, Xiuqin, please step out for a moment. I want to have a private chat with Xiao Wang. Wang Xiuqin was slightly stunned but didn't say anything. She walked out of the room. Xiao Wang, can you tell me what you're thinking? Are you going to get a divorce or not? I knew he was testing my stance, so I pretended to be conflicted and answered, Dad, to be honest, I don't know what to do either. Lily is my first law, but she did something like this. I can't forgive her. I'm really torn right now. Dad, please give me some advice. If this continues, I feel like I'm really going to break down. Lu Hua patted my shoulder and said, Xiao Wang, we really let you down this time. It's my fault for not raising her properly. That she would do something so disgraceful. If you don't want a divorce, I'll discipline her well and make her settle down and lie with you properly. If she dares to make this mistake again, then you won't need to do anything. I'll break her legs myself. I looked at Lu Hua with gratitude. I knew my father-in-law wasn't just saying this. If Lily dared to make a mistake again, he really would break her legs. Lu Hua said guiltily, Xiao Wang, the news has spread now, hasn't it? Has your work been affected too? I pretended to be nonchalant and said it's fine. I was planning to change jobs anyway. With my qualifications and experience, I can make money doing anything. Lu Hua said, I'm old and can't help you much, but if you ever need me for anything, I won't refuse. He already considered me family, and my actions this time moved him deeply. My place in his heart now surpasses his daughter's. Dad, just rest and recover now. I'll handle everything. You know I'm an orphan. Actually, over the past year, I've come to see you and Mom as my own parents. The reason I didn't divorce Lily this time is partly because I can't let her go, and partly because I can't bear to leave you too. Because I feel a sense of family with you. After saying that, I didn't turn back to see Lu Hua's expression. I didn't need to. I knew he must be feeling guilty and moved. He was probably cursing Lily in his heart. I walked out of the ward and brought my mother-in-law, Wang Xiuqin, back in. After eating with them, I packed up and got ready to leave. But just as I stepped out of the ward, I turned back. Mom, I'll stay with Dad tonight. You go home and get some sleep. I drove my mother-in-law, Wang Xiuqin, back to the neighborhood. Without even getting out of the car, I said, Mom, Lily's at home. Just go up yourself. I'm heading back to the hospital now. I didn't go straight to the hospital. Instead, I found a parking spot near the hospital, took out my phone and started watching surveillance. As soon as I opened the EP, I saw something unbelievable. Lily, oh Lily, what can I say about you? Look at what you've done. Xiao Wang is such a good young man. You weren't satisfied, so you had to mess around? Did you think about his feelings? Did you think about mine and your father's feelings? You didn't just embarrass Xiao Wang. You made your father and me a target for gossip. I can already hear what the neighbors in the village are saying about us. They'll definitely say they raised a daughter who runs wild. It's so shameful to have raised a daughter like this. Mom, please stop scolding me. I'm really sorry. I'll never do it again. Lily cried, holding her head. Det, that's right. Scold her, isolate her, ignite her sense of shame. Only then will she feel the pain. There's no need to watch anymore. I put away my phone and drove to the hospital. Arriving at the ward, I saw my father-in-law was still awake, so I called out, Dad, why aren't you resting yet? I then brought a stool and sat by the bed. I can't sleep, Xiao Wang. I'm fine. You go home and rest. I picked up a piece of fruit. Smiling, I said, how can I do that? If I go back, Mom will definitely insist on coming over, but I want to be alone for a while. I looked up at my father-in-law. Dad, don't dwell on those worries. You should get some rest. I can only sleep after you do. I haven't slept all night. Just do me a favor and sleep early. Seeing my father-in-law lie down to rest, I reached over and tucked him in. Early the next morning, my mother-in-law came to take over. She almost forced me to go home. Back home, I lay on the sofa to catch up on sleep. Half asleep, I was woken by the sound of the door opening. Opening my eyes, I saw Lily's eyes were red. I knew she had been scolded again at the hospital. Luckily, my father-in-law couldn't move much yet. Otherwise, her face would have been covered in red marks. Lily looked at me with a forced smile. Sorry, honey, for disturbing your rest. Go cook. Then go quit your job. After saying that, I closed my eyes again and pretended to sleep. Lily bit her lip. My indifferent attitude made her very uncomfortable. Before, I would comfort and soothe her. Now, I ignore her completely. The contrast is huge, but now she can only endure it. She believes that if she can just get through this period, things will get better. Lily now regrets it. She hates herself for being so stupid back then. She hates herself for not being able to resist temptation. But if regret were useful, people wouldn't pray for a second chance. Tears silently streamed down her face. Lily walked woodenly into the kitchen. Over an hour later, I packed the lunchbox and got ready to leave. Before leaving, I looked at Lily. Just looked at her calmly, without any warning. Lily felt very uneasy under my gaze. Her body shrank involuntarily. She wished I would warn her. Watching me leave, Lily slumped down on the sofa. She knew she couldn't go back to the way things were. Now she only hoped I would show her a third of the kindness I used to, and that would be enough for her. Arriving at the ward, my mother-in-law took the food from me and said reproachfully, Xiao Wang, you didn't have to bring it yourself. You didn't get enough rest last night. She could have brought it. Mom, it's fine. Lily, I told her to quit her job. My mother-in-law fell silent. My father-in-law's smile never faded when he saw me. I'm much better. I should be discharged in a few days. You don't need to come every day. Get your rest. Just have Lily bring the food. Dad, I understand. Back home, Lily hadn't returned yet. I lay down on the bed to rest. Soon, I was lightly snoring. This was the first time I had slept since that night. I wasn't woken until the afternoon by Lily. Honey, time to eat. I groggily opened my eyes, glanced at Lily and said, don't cry all day. Look, your eyes are all red. Lily opened her mouth but said nothing. She could only turn and walk out of the bedroom. During dinner, Lily came over and said, honey, I need to tell you something. Lily showed me her phone. She's been caught. She'll probably be locked up for a few years. I took Lily's phone and looked at it. I was a little surprised. Yang Jun was actually arrested. I looked directly at Lily and said, did you report him? Liu Li didn't speak. She just nodded slightly. My respect for Liu Li increased a bit. This woman has some skills. Hearing my cold snort, Liu Li dared not speak. She knew that regarding Young Jun, she couldn't express any opinion. Some things can only be done, not bragged about. What do you plan to do now? I'll just stay home from now on. I'll cook and do your laundry. After saying that, Liu Li looked at me nervously. I can also stay home and take care of the kids. I put down my chopsticks and lit a cigarette. That's it for now. Let's put the matter of kids aside. A flicker of disappointment passed through Liu Li's eyes, but she also knew that I still had a grudge in my heart. Her plan to use a child to save this family would have to wait. After eating, I drove Liu Li to the hospital. At the hospital, I had Liu Li pick up her parents. I went to handle the discharge and pay the fees. Just as I finished, I turned around and bumped into a girl, but the position of my hand was a bit awkward. Before the girl could react, I quickly stepped back. The girl covered her chest and jumped back, saying, "What's wrong with you? Where are you touching?" I apologized and said, "I'm sorry. I didn't see you. You suddenly appeared behind me." I didn't have time to react. The girl's face turned slightly red, whether it was from anger at my action or embarrassment at not queuing up. She had originally wanted to ask the nurse something, but who knew it would turn out like this? The girl struggled for a moment, her face red. She glared at me fiercely, then turned and ran off. I looked at her back in confusion, but since she didn't pursue it, I wasn't going to go out of my way to apologize. When Liu Li came downstairs, she happened to see me apologizing to that girl. Because she was still far away, she couldn't hear anything. She only saw my mouth moving. At that moment, a sense of crisis arose in her heart. She had gotten used to it before, and thus overlooked my good qualities. My decent looks. I wouldn't have trouble finding a woman. If I divorced, I could lie well. But if she divorced, she would only be scorned. Thinking about this, Liu Li was even less likely to want to divorce. She had to find a way to remove the grudge in my heart. She could only be with me. This marriage had become Liu Li's umbrella. Without this umbrella, she would be judged under the scorching sun. My mother-in-law glanced at her daughter. She had nothing left to say to her. "Mom, Dad, why don't you come stay at my place for a few days?" My father-in-law waved his hand and said, "Xiao Wang, we won't trouble you. Just take us home. The house hasn't been lived in for a few days. The pigs and chickens, we can't keep asking your uncle to feed them." Since he said that, I didn't insist. I drove out of the city towards their hometown. Liu Li sat in the passenger seat, looking out the window. A flicker of fear passed through her eyes. If there was one thing she feared most now, it was going back to her hometown. She could even imagine the looks from the relatives and neighbors. Liu Li turned to look at me. Her eyes were pleading. She was begging me not to stay long. I didn't ignore Liu Li's look. I knew that pushing too hard could backfire. Even a rabbit will bite when cornered. After driving over a bumpy country road, a village appeared before me. This was where Liu Li's parents lived, Liujia village. Most people in Liujia village are surnamed Liu. They are all more or less related. After parking the car, a group of half-grown children gathered around. I got out and gave them some candy. Before I could send those little brats away, one little brat tugged at my clothes and asked, "Big brother, I heard from my mom that sister Liu Li cheated." Was cheating? My face darkened slightly, but I still crouched down and said, "Little brat, why are you asking so many questions? Ask again, and I'll take your candy back. You already gave it to me. You can't take it back." The kid quickly stuffed the candy into his mouth and ran off. Because the car window wasn't closed, Liu Li heard the kid's words clearly. That innocent voice made Liu Li feel so ashamed she couldn't lift her head. She curled up in the chair, trembling. "So, you know what shame is now?" My father-in-law scolded from the side. Liu Li didn't even have the courage to respond. At that moment, I opened the car door and said, "Dad, let me help you out. Watch your head." After helping my in-laws out of the car, I walked to the passenger side, knocked on the window. "Go cook. Mom and Dad haven't had breakfast yet." Liu Li shook her head and looked at me pleadingly. She really didn't want to stay here for a moment. "What, do you want Mom to cook herself?" Liu Li got out of the car very reluctantly. After going home, she immediately buried herself in the kitchen and didn't come out. I looked at the dusty floor, picked up a broom and started cleaning. My mother-in-law quickly grabbed my hand and said, "Xiao Wang, don't sweep. Leave it. I'll sweep it when I have time. I'll just give it a quick sweep." I said, ignoring them, and started sweeping. While I was sweeping, the news of my in-laws' return had spread throughout the village. Close relatives came to visit, including some who came specifically to watch the drama. A large group of people sat around the table, drinking tea and chatting. Of course, they didn't openly discuss sensitive topics, but the way they looked at me was somewhat strange. However, his aunt was the first to probe. "Xiao Wang, what are you thinking?" "Auntie, please don't ask. Give me some face." Just then, a group of children ran in, following the crying child. The crying child was the one who had asked me the question earlier. He cried out, "Mom, Sister Liu Li hit me." Auntie touched the red mark on his face with concern. "Shou Bao, what did you do to make her angry?" "I just asked her what cheating is." "She slapped me hard." Auntie looked up and saw my in-laws and me with dark expressions. She quickly apologized, saying, "Children say the darndest things. Don't mind it." I held my teacup and said nothing. But my father-in-law tapped the table lightly. "Sister, how about you all go home for today? I've just recovered. I'll visit you all in a few days." My father-in-law was showing them the door. It was about time. Once this started, with so many people, everyone would have something to say. Who knows what nasty words might come out. The others also stood up and said, "We'll be going now. We'll come see you another day." Liu Li didn't come out with the food until everyone had left. She had finished cooking it long ago. But because there were so many people outside, she hid and didn't come out. My father-in-law's face darkened when he saw Liu Li. He slammed the table and scolded, "What? Are you angry? After doing something so shameless, you still dare to hit someone? Xiao Bao is just a child. If you hurt him, your uncle will skin you alive." Liu Li shrank her head like an ostrich and didn't dare to speak. I listened for a while. When I felt it was enough, I said, "Dad, calm down, calm down. I'll take her away now. This needs to be taken step by step. If you push Liu Li too hard and she runs away, that wouldn't be good." I still needed my in-laws to spread the word for my future plans. Only by taking it slow could I make her mentally collapse. If I rushed it, it would only backfire. "Xiao Wang, since you're here, stay for a meal." "It won't make a difference." My father-in-law turned and said gently. His attitude towards me was a complete 180-degree turn compared to how he had just spoken to Lioli. This contrast made Lioli feel even worse. I thought for a moment, then sat back down and said, "All right, I'll stay for a meal, but don't try to keep me after that. I don't feel very comfortable here either." I gave Lioli a look, signaling her to leave quickly. Lioli gave me a grateful look. She quickly ran to the kitchen to get the bowls and chopsticks. After that, she didn't even come to the table. At the table, my father-in-law wanted to drink. No matter how much I tried to persuade him, he wouldn't listen. In the end, I had to agree to let him have a small sip. After eating, I stood up and said goodbye to my in-laws. "I'll take Lioli away now. Call me if you need anything." Lioli practically ran to the car. She felt that if she stayed any longer, she would go crazy. My father-in-law looked at Lioli's state. His face darkened again. But this time, for my sake, he didn't lose his temper. Watching the car drive away, my father-in-law sighed and said, "Xiao Wang is a good kid. She doesn't deserve such a good husband. She's worse than an animal. Old Lu, let it go. Since Xiao Wang doesn't want a divorce, then let it be. We'll shield him from the gossip in the village. You'll see, if she's still not satisfied and dares to do something like this again, I'll beat her to death." To save Xiao Wang's face, my father-in-law spat and said, "Driving home." I glanced at Lioli with some irritation. Stop crying. Lioli didn't want to cry either, but thinking about the strange looks she had just faced at her parents' house, she couldn't help it. She felt like she was being judged. Her sobbing just wouldn't stop. "Husband, can we not go back in the future?" I smiled and said, "Sure, as long as we get divorced. You can escape this city. Go somewhere no one knows you. Then you won't have to face this anymore. You can still lie well." The reason I said that was to test Lu Li, to see if she had that resolve. If she wanted to do that, I'd have to change my plan. Lu Li was clearly tempted, but soon her eyes dimmed. She didn't dare to do it. She was afraid that if she left, she'd anger her father to death. And what daughter makes a mistake, then leaves the consequences for her parents? Lu Li couldn't do something like that. If she divorced, she'd only be scorned. But I would still lie well. Only by keeping this marriage could she slowly lift her head again amidst the gossip. "Husband, don't divorce me. I can endure this. Give me a chance," Lu Li pleaded. I breathed a sigh of relief inside. It seemed she didn't have that resolve. As long as she doesn't leave this city, I have plenty of ways to torment her. The atmosphere in the car fell silent because I didn't respond. Only her sobbing continued. I liked that sound. I liked seeing her cry. The harder she cried, the happier I was. Back at the neighborhood, I had just parked the car, got out and heard someone calling me. "Xiao Wang, come here. I need to talk to you." "Aunt Wang, what's the matter?" I walked over slowly. "Xiao Wang, when are you getting divorced? Then Auntie will introduce you to a girlfriend. Don't worry, the girl I introduce will definitely be of good character. Much better than some people," Aunt Wang said loudly. I pretended to be at a loss for words, but out of the corner of my eye, I glanced towards Lu Li. I wanted to enjoy Lu Li's reaction. Lu Li wasn't standing far away, so she naturally heard what Aunt Wang said. She was furious, biting her lip, too angry to speak. I was her lifeline now. How could she let anyone take me away? At the same time, a sense of crisis arose in her heart. I was excellent. There was no doubt about that. She couldn't keep such an excellent man now, so she panicked. She had to do something. Lu Li walked over, stood quietly behind me to assert her presence, but she didn't dare to interrupt because she knew if she did, she might end up arguing with Aunt Wang. She was afraid of lowering her status in my eyes again. I turned and glanced at Lu Li. "Aunt Wang, this is my private matter. Don't trouble yourself." "What? You're not planning to divorce? Your wife did something like that. Are you just going to put up with it?" She glanced at Lu Li and said without any hesitation. Lu Li bit her lip until it bled, but she didn't dare say a word. My face darkened. "Aunt Wang, it's nothing. I'll head back first." As I turned, Aunt Wang grabbed my arm and said, "Xiao Wang, you must not have been there that night, so you don't have that visual." "I was there. When the police went to your house, I stood at the door. I recorded everything that happened. Let me show you what your wife looked like then." With that, Aunt Wang let go of my hand, took out her phone and started looking for the 6 video she recorded. I looked at the aunties gathering around to watch. My face darkened as I grabbed Aunt Wang's wrist and said in a low voice, "Aunt Wang, please save me some face, okay?" Aunt Wang looked up at my darkened face, then turned and glanced at the crowd gathering around, realized her mistake and apologized. "Oh, look at my brain. Xiao Wang, I'm so sorry. I'll find you to talk alone another time." I let go and turned to leave. I was genuinely a bit angry now. I was the one who abandoned my reputation. So why did hearing this still make me angry? Before leaving, Lu Li glared fiercely at Aunt Wang, as if warning her not to meddle. Aunt Wang got angry right then. Pointing at Lu Li's back, she cursed. "You dare to glare at me? How? You did something dirty and won't let others talk about it. Someone lie you. In ancient times, you'd have been in a box already." Hearing Aunt Wang's curses, I walked faster. Back home, I lay on the sofa and lit a cigarette. I was very calm now. Lu Li came home without even changing her shoes, walked straight up to me and knelt down. She lowered her head and said nothing, and didn't dare to speak. She knew I was very angry now. Anything she said might provoke me. I blew out a puff of smoke and said, "What do you mean by this? Husband, I know I've brought shame on you. Hit me." Lu Li gritted her teeth and said humbly, "Do you know these past few days when I go out, what kind of looks those neighbors give me? I'm a man. The one who least needs these things," I said in a sarcastic tone. Lu Li couldn't hold it in anymore and cried, reached out and hugged my leg, crying, "I know. Husband, please give me one more chance. I will definitely make up for this mistake." I looked at Lu Li coldly, saying nothing, got up and went straight back to the room. In the room, listening to Lu Li's cries, I smiled coldly. In the afternoon, I walked out of the room, saw Lu Li still kneeling there. A flicker of barely noticeable calculation crossed her eyes. This used to work very well. I used to fall for it. But now? Just ha. Lu Li looked at me with red, swollen eyes, with a hint of expectation. She was hoping for the concern I used to show. I walked over to Lu Li, looked down at her. "Go cook. I'm hungry." After saying that, I sat directly on the sofa. I didn't help Lu Li up. Didn't even say much else. Disappointment flashed in Lu Li's eyes. Lu Li struggled to get up, but her knees hurt badly from kneeling so long. She fell, and fell right onto me. Lu Li apologized while trying to get up, but her knees hurt too much. She couldn't do it. I pushed Lu Li onto the sofa without scolding her, and didn't rush her. Just took out the remote and turned on the TV. Lu Li bit her lip, a bit dejected. She felt a kind of coldness. A few minutes later, I went into the room, took out some Yunnan Baiyao and handed it to Lu Li. "Fix yourself up. When you're better, go cook." Joy showed in Lu Li's eyes. Holding the medicine, she looked at me. She felt hope again. I sneered inside. Don't rush. This hope will be the motivation for you to keep going. Lu Li glanced at me beside her, carefully pulled down her pants. As she applied the medicine, she watched me out of the corner of her eye. She was watching to see if I'd react to her legs. Because her legs had always been her most confident feature. She wanted to win me back with her body. I saw through her intentions at a glance, and just felt disgusted. Got up, went to the room, and threw a loose pair of pants at her. Put these on when you're done, then go cook. Disappointment flashed across Lu Li's face, but she didn't give up. While she cooked, I took out my phone to look for a new job. I couldn't just keep wasting time. Making money was necessary. After dinner, I went to the park near the neighborhood, sat on a park bench, looked up at the bright moon in the sky. My heart was full of resentment. Lu Li, you really deserve to die. You ruined a good life. This was the first time I hated someone so much, even more than I hated my parents who abandoned me. Just then, my phone suddenly rang. It was my good brother, Chen Hai. Brother Lin, I saw a 60 today. It's about... Before he could finish, I interrupted. Old Chen, you don't need to tell me. The night guy in that 60 is me. I've been cheated on. There was a long silence on the other end. Brother Lin, are you planning to divorce or? I can't divorce. When have I ever suffered such humiliation? Brother Lin, calm down. Don't do anything stupid. Don't worry, it's a society of law now. I won't solve problems with violence. I talked with Chen Hai for a while, learned he was working himself to death in Shanghai, making just over 6,000 a month. I suddenly got the idea of starting my own business. I wanted to open a labor service company. The connections I built over the years were enough to get by. After telling Chen Hai, he said he was also tired of his current life and decided to take a chance with me. He immediately decided to quit his job there and come find me. Now I had to both get revenge on Lu Li and make money, so I could lie better in the future. As soon as I got home, Lu Li warmly greeted me. Husband, please have some tea. I've already adjusted the bathwater temperature. When do you want to wash up? Her maid-like attitude made me a bit uncomfortable, but I was happy to enjoy it. I took the teacup and took a sip, got up and walked into the bathroom, directly shut her out. Lu Li clenched her fists in anger outside the door, then turned to make the bed, still trying one last time. After washing up, I walked into the bedroom. She was wearing a conservative yet very sexy nightgown. This was the outfit she had carefully chosen. Not too revealing, but still showed off her great figure. She was still trying to seduce me, but her plan failed. I didn't even look at her, turned my back to her and lay down to sleep. She climbed onto the bed, a bit dejected, looking at my back. She wanted to say something, but didn't dare to speak. Lu Li thought about everything she was facing now, and couldn't help feeling bitter inside. I didn't know about any of this, and didn't want to know. My soft snoring had already started in the room. The next day, I felt some pressure on me, opened my eyes and saw Lu Li was wrapped around me like a snake. I was a man in my 20s, full of vigor, plus the morning instinct. My body immediately reacted, but looking at her body, I only felt disgust. I pushed her away forcefully, got up and got dressed, then lit a cigarette and went to the living room. Lu Li woke up when I got up. Her hopes were completely shattered. She knew I was disgusted by her being dirty. Her confidence in winning me back began to waver. I called out, I know you're awake. Go cook. I'm going out soon. Lu Li got up and dressed with a complicated expression. As she passed the living room, she asked, Husband, where are you going? I coldly warned her not to ask too many questions. When I'm not home, you better behave. Husband, I will definitely behave. I won't embarrass you again. She shook her head like a rattle. Better be. If you mess around again, you won't even have the chance to divorce. Lu Li's face turned pale. She understood the threat. Trembling, she walked into the kitchen. I took out my phone and bought her a suitable outfit online. After eating, I went out, drove aimlessly around the city. Before I knew it, evening had come. I didn't go home. Instead, I drove straight to a bar. As a betrayed man, I had to put on an act of being troubled and venting. Sat at a booth and ordered a strong drink. Dim lights, loud DJ. There weren't many people in the bar yet. Then I noticed a few girls nearby talking about me. Girls, there's a handsome guy over there, drinking alone. He has a good vibe. Doesn't look like a wage earner. Xiu, do you want to give it a try? Luo Yao, stop teasing me. Oko, Xiu, go get his WeChat. Then we'll each try our luck. The girl pushed forward was named Li Xiu. She held her glass and hesitantly walked over to me, gently tapped the table. Handsome, can I sit and have a drink with you? I looked at her with a half smile. This girl was very pretty. At first glance, she was quite attractive. Lu Li was far inferior to her, but I didn't have the mind for that now. I said calmly, except on me. You can sit anywhere here. Her cheeks flushed slightly. She sat down gracefully. My name is Li Xiu. What's your name? Wang Lin. Seeing you drinking alone, are you unhappy about something? If you want, you can tell me. She raised her glass to toast me. I stared at her for half a minute, then asked, are you married? She was surprised. I just graduated from college. Why would I get married so early? Marriage makes women age quickly. You're not married, so you wouldn't understand. It's useless even if I tell you. She didn't expect I was already married. Her interest in me instantly diminished by half, but she still comforted me. Then are you frowning because of money? I don't have much money, but I do have about 100,000 in savings. I was stunned. Maybe because it was too little. In this materialistic society, it's not enough to stand on. You're young. You can earn money slowly. The most important thing now is to enjoy your youth. I drank one gulp after another. My tone was like an old man. Li Xiu frowned slightly. She didn't lie my world-weary attitude. I said sharply, you seem to know a lot about life. Do you have children? Have you experienced life and death? You don't understand. Sometimes age isn't about appearance. Maybe it's one thing, or maybe a single moment. You suddenly realize you've grown old. Li Xiu was a bit annoyed. She came to make friends, not to listen to lectures. Just keep on sighing. I feel like there's a generation gap between us, so I won't bother you. She thought for a moment, then reminded me, no matter what happened, life is beautiful. Don't lock yourself in a cage, and don't drink too much. It's bad for you. My hand holding the glass paused. Watching her back, a stranger's concern actually warmed my heart. Nearby, Qing Shui and Luo Yao were eagerly asking, Xiu, how did it go? Success? Don't fight me over this. This one's mine. Even if you get him, he'll just rot in your WeChat. I'm keeping options open. You're just keeping dead fish. Enough. I didn't get it. Li Xiu quickly stopped them. He has things on his mind. Seems like he's been hurt in law. Let's not bother him. Good emotional intelligence. Perfect. Let me go heal him. Luo Yao joked. Enough of that. I lost my job again. What should I do about work? Li Xiu worried. Qing Shui laughed. Come be my maid. Eat and sleep with me. 3,000 a month. You're joking. At least 3 million a year. Li Xiu said playfully. After a few more drinks, I staggered out of the bar. I rarely drank, and the alcohol hit me. The world was spinning. I called a designated driver and lay down. But, we're here. Time to pay. I groggily opened my eyes, pulled out 100 yuan and handed it over. I came home reeking of alcohol. Husband, why did you drink so much? Lu Li carefully helped me inside. I struggled and pushed her. Don't touch me. Disgusting. Lu Li froze, staring at me blankly. I lay on the sofa and muttered, I know you resent me. I'll show you I can change. From now on, you are my loyalty. I grabbed the water glass on the table and drank it all. My hand loosened and the glass fell to the floor, shattering into pieces. And I lay on the sofa, unconscious. Lu Li quietly watched me, caressed my face, leaned on my chest to listen to my heartbeat. Husband, I really regret it. I used to take your kindness for granted. Now I understand. It wasn't without reason, but it's too late. I've lost it. She kissed my cheek, bent down to clean up the pieces. She knew time might heal the pain she had to endure until the day I forgot. I woke up with a dry mouth and a dizzy head. Lu Li handed me a glass of water. Husband, you must be thirsty. I made hangover soup. I looked up. Lu Li was wearing a maid outfit that caught my eye. This was what I ordered yesterday. Same day delivery, so fast. I took the glass and looked at her appreciatively. I'm hungry. Is breakfast ready? I made porridge. You drank a lot last night. Porridge in the morning is good for your stomach. I finished my water and walked to the table. Lu Li trotted over and pulled out a chair, then handed me the porridge. She looked quite like a maid. Husband, what are you doing today? I'll prepare your clothes. Lu Li massaged my shoulders behind me. Her voice was soft. Get a casual outfit. I'm going to pick someone up today. I closed my eyes and enjoyed it. She didn't ask further. Turned to get the clothes. After showering, I came out of the bathroom. Lu Li was waiting at the door with the clothes. Tried to help me put them on. I took the clothes directly. I'll do it myself. Go buy some groceries. We're having guests for lunch. After getting dressed, I took the car keys and left. Through the mirror, Lu Li looked at herself in the maid outfit, feeling a bit strange. This wasn't a romantic gesture. She knew I was tormenting her, but she didn't want to give up. She believed a maid could also become the lady of the house. I drove to the southern city airport. In the bustling crowd, I soon spotted Chen Hai with his luggage. Good brother, welcome home. I went up and gave him a hug. Brother Lin, the air here is better than outside. I took his luggage. Want to go back to the orphanage first? Chen Hai looked embarrassed. Let's wait a few days. I'm afraid the director will scold me. You'll get scolded either way. Sooner or later is the same. I'm not ready yet. Let's talk in a few days. All right. Stay at my place tonight. We'll go tomorrow. In the car, Chen Hai handed me a cigarette. Brother Lin, is that labor service company idea you mentioned yesterday reliable? You worked in a factory for 3 years. Don't you know the rules of human resources? I asked back. In Shanghai, labor companies partner with factories. Quick recruitment saves the factory trouble. They take 1 to a few yuan per hour from the wage. That's the money-making model. I added. As for connections, don't worry about that. When I was in sales, I knew most of the factory leaders here. Follow me, and you won't lose. Chen Hai hesitated. Brother Lin, it's not that I'm worried about that, but building relationships up front costs a lot, right? I only have 20,000 left. I said, don't worry about the money. Registering the company is a few thousand. Renting a storefront is 3 to 4,000 a month. Miscellaneous stuff, about 8,000 to 120,000. Building relationships, 50,000. The rest for emergencies. That's enough. So when do we start? No rush. Go back to the orphanage first. I'll do more research in the next few days. As soon as I got home, I noticed Lu Li was wearing a mask. I noticed and took off her mask. Found scratches on her face. I frowned. Did you get into a fight? Lu Li was silent. She had been pointed at and talked about at the market. Couldn't hold back and fought. Brother Lin, maybe we should eat out. She might not be up for it now. Chen Hai spoke. He didn't call her sister-in-law. Even ignored her. It's fine. I looked at her injuries. Not serious. Handle it yourself. Go cook. And next time, don't fight. I won't stand up for you. Lu Li's heart sank. She couldn't even get a word of concern. She walked into the kitchen. The loud chopping sound became her way of venting. I pulled Chen Hai to sit on the sofa. Took a few bottles of beer from the fridge. Good brother, it's been years. Let's have a good drink today. Chen Hai held the beer and said quietly, Brother Lin, are you really going to treat her like this? She's not worth it. My face darkened slightly. If you're my brother, don't say that. I have the final say on his matter. Chen Hai knows. He can't talk me out of it. I've been vengeful since I was a kid. When I was bullied as a child, I'd wait half a month to get back at them, let alone suffering such a huge humiliation this time. It's my fault. I'll drink a glass as punishment. Chen Hai picked up the beer and downed it in one go. After that, we chatted about funny childhood stories. I laughed heartily. It was the first genuine smile in days. Lu Li finished cooking, set the table, and didn't interrupt. She quietly stepped aside. He was thinking whether to continue this marriage or divorce. It was entirely up to him to decide after the meal. Chen Hai insisted on going out to cook. I staggered out with him. Lu Li only came out to clean up after we left. After careful consideration, he still decided that doing laundry and cooking wasn't a big deal. And seeing me checking the company's documents, she was even less willing to divorce. The next day, I took Chen Hai back to the orphanage. The car drove into the orphanage. A group of children surrounded us. Brother Wang Lin is back. Brother Chen Hai is back too. I handed out snacks for the children to essay, then went straight to the director's office. We chatted for a long time. We left after eating. In the car, Chen Hai was scrolling on his phone. Suddenly, a strange sound came from it. I asked curiously, what are you watching? Chen Hai quickly turned off the phone. Nothing. You misheard. Let me see, I said in a deep voice. He hesitated and handed me the phone. I saw it was the 6DO of Lu Li's affair that day. It was even filmed from outside the window. A sinister smile curled at the corner of my mouth. I exited the 6DO and threw the phone back to him. What are you afraid of? I had that 6DO sent out. Chen Hai was shocked, speechless. After a long while, he said, Brother Lin, this hurts the enemy 1,000 but loses 800 yourself. You'll be labeled as a cuckold. My reputation is already out there. I don't care what others think of me, as long as she goes to hell. I was so resolute that Chen Hai fell silent. He understood my anger. When his girlfriend betrayed him back then, he also resorted to violence. But my methods are more ruthless, hitting where it hurts. After settling Chen Hai, I drove back to the neighborhood. I thought the rumors of the past few days had died down, but I didn't expect that upon returning. The gossip and sympathetic looks flooded back like a tide, making me extremely uncomfortable. Even though I was mentally prepared, I still felt a wave of unease. Finally, unable to bear these invisible needles, I hurried home. I opened the door with a gloomy face. Lu Li was kneeling at the door, holding a clothes pole. Honey, hit me. I'm a bitch. Seeing her humble state, my anger subsided a bit. I thought about hitting her but gave up. If I hit her, she'd feel at ease. I took the pole and threw it aside. I walked into the bedroom and ignored her. Lu Li knelt on the ground, dazed. Her eyes were vacant. Coldness breaks her more than scolding. She got up and rushed into the bedroom. Wang Lin, I want a divorce. You cold-blooded beast. I lay on the bed and chuckled. I'm a beast? Have I ever hurt you? Have I ever made a big scene? Have I ever betrayed our marriage? I growled the last sentence. If you're not a beast, what are you? Your coldness is torture for me. I'm done playing with you. Divorce, Luli shouted. I still said coldly, fine. Let's go get a divorce now. You leave with nothing? No objections? Luli snapped back to reality instantly. She hugged me from behind and cried, honey, I'm so I was just angry. I don't want a divorce. Please don't abandon me. I growled and shook her off. The anger inside me exploded instantly. Just thinking about her dirty body touching me, I wanted to kill. Let go of me. I just want to hold you. I turned to hit her, but she suddenly hugged and kissed me. Caught off guard, our lips touched. I was furious. I pushed her away and slapped her hard. Are you trying to disgust me? Are you forcing me to hit you? Luli covered her face and smiled, a sickly smile. I looked at her and didn't hit her again. I slammed the door and left. Think it over. If you keep this up, don't blame me for losing control. She didn't chase after me. Instead, she was happy. She finally saw an emotion other than coldness from me, even if it was anger. I sat alone on the riverbank, watching the sunset. A dozen cigarette butts were scattered on the ground. I replayed the touch in my mind. It only felt disgusting. Luli destroyed my hope for life. I was too careless. I let her provoke me just now. I threw away the cigarette butt and went home. Luli greeted me as if nothing had happened. Honey, you're back. Dinner's ready. I nodded coldly. Then she served rice and poured tea. I immediately became alert. Nothing good comes from sudden kindness. But then I thought, she just made a scene. Apologizing is normal. I figured it out. She was happy because I hit her. She saw hope. Sometimes anger gives more hope than coldness. I decided not to hit her again. At the same time, I strengthened communication with her parents to prevent her from running away. Go do your thing. Stop hovering around me. I need to think. Okay, honey, I'll disappear right away. Luli turned and went back to the bedroom. I opened my laptop to check information. Work starts tomorrow. I need to understand the relevant document procedures. I searched for 2 hours. Suddenly, I felt hot. Strange, it's only May. Why is it so hot at night? My whole body felt feverish. I went to the bathroom to see you down with cold water. While showering, Luli said outside the door she wanted to help me wash. I angrily told her to get lost, but she insisted on barging in. After the storm passed, I sat naked on the sofa. My face was terrifyingly dark. Looking at Luli, who had fainted on the floor, a cold murderous intent burst from my eyes. She actually dared to drug me. I walked into the kitchen, picked up a kitchen knife and poured a bucket of cold water on her. Luli woke up with a start, wiping the water off her face. She looked calmly at the knife in my hand. A smile even appeared on her face. Honey, are you going to kill me? You drugged me. I questioned coldly. I added a strong drug to your tea. Who told you to be so cold to me these days? I'm your woman. I crave your affection. You still have the nerve to say that? When I cherished and loved you back then, you betrayed me. You trampled on my lot. You abandoned our relationship yourself. I roared. The kitchen knife in my hand left a deep gash on the dining table. I admit I betrayed you, but I still love you. I was with young Jun just to split his ill-gotten gains. I wanted to help you with the mortgage and car loan pressure. I just used the wrong method. Shut up. I earn 500 or 600,000 a year. Can't I support this family? Can't I support you? Do you need to beg for money from another man? I roared. Luli closed her eyes and stopped arguing. Silence became her only response. I walked into the bedroom and put on clothes. I threw a piece of clothing at her. Get dressed and come with me. Where are you taking me? I'm not going. She refused to move. I opened the door regardless. Some neighbors had gathered outside to watch the commotion. They all tried to persuade me. Xiao Wang, don't get angry. Just divorce her. This woman isn't worth it. With your conditions, you can find someone better. Don't keep someone with such bad character. I have a daughter a year younger than you. She's sensible and pretty. I can introduce you. I suppressed my anger and forced a faint smile. Uncles and aunties, thank you for your kindness. I know what to do. Taking advantage of my opening the door, Luli grabbed her clothes and ran into the bedroom. She didn't want to be exposed in front of everyone. Xiao Wang, don't hit her. Otherwise, you'll be in the wrong even if you're right. The law doesn't care about that. I smiled in response. It took a while to send the neighbors away. I turned and walked into the bedroom. I carried Luli to the car. Wang Lin, you bastard. Let me go. I don't want to go back to my parents' house. She struggled and hit my back. I shoved the crying Luli into the car. I tied her hands with a belt. I drove straight away. Wang Lin, do you want to publicly humiliate me? Can't you save me some face? Honey, I was wrong. Let's go back. Oh cool. You can hit me or scold me. I'll be your slave. Luli went from cursing to begging. Her hometown was the place she feared most. Honey, please, don't take me back. My parents will kill me. I ignored her and drove into the night. She cried all the way until her voice was hoarse. Finally, she just lay dazedly in the back seat. An hour later, the car stopped in front of my father-in-law's house. Father-in-law Lu Hua opened the door with a smile. Xiao Wang, why are you here so late? Dad, sorry for disturbing you so late. I brought Luli back. I'll leave right away. I picked up Luli from the back seat, untied the belt from her hands. Dad, I'm leaving. After dropping the belt, I quickly got into the car. Before my father-in-law could react, I turned around and drove off. Lu Hua watched the car speed away, then looked at Luli beside him. His face instantly darkened. Luli looked at the discarded belt on the ground, her eyes complex. Did he hate me so much that he didn't even want the belt that bound me? You little brat, what did you do again? To make Xiao Wang unhappy? I'll beat you to death, Lu Hua said coldly. She didn't look back. Go ahead, beat me to death. Living is meaningless anyway. Lu Hua's raised hand finally fell weakly. He turned and went home, closing the door. But he left the porch light on for her. Luli crouched by the roadside. The night wind made her shiver. Her heart was colder than the weather. Wang Lin, do you have to be so ruthless? Everything I did was for you. In the dead of night, mother-in-law Wang Shuqin came out in her pajamas. Seeing her shivering, she sighed. Daughter, do you regret it now? Mom, I really regret it. This family is broken. I can't fix it. Come inside. Let's see what Xiao Wang thinks. Wang Shuqin draped the clothes over her, held her up. No matter how wrong she was still her daughter. I got home in the dead of night. The anger in my heart hadn't subsided. Being drugged by that disgusting woman, she was getting bolder and bolder. Luli, it seems I'll have to be on guard against you from now on. My father-in-law's call came through. I hesitated for a moment, then answered. Dad, ask Luli yourself. I have things to do. A moment of silence. Lu Hua asked cautiously. Xiao Wang, are you planning to divorce? Whether we divorce or not isn't up to me. If Luli wants to continue, she can come back. If she wants a divorce, we'll be strangers from now on. After saying that, I hung up directly. In Lu family village, Lu Hua looked at the hung up phone and sighed helplessly. Old Lu, what did Xiao Wang say? Wang Shuqin asked. He said to ask Lu Li. He looked pretty angry last night. Lu Hua glanced at Lu Li's door. Go wake her up. Wang Xiuqin felt a bit reluctant, but she still walked to the door and called a few times. There was no response, and the door was locked from inside. A bad feeling surged in her heart. Lu Hua heard the commotion and came over. He grabbed a hammer and smashed the door open. They saw Lu Li lying pale-faced on the bed. When they lifted the blanket, the bed was covered in blood. Wang Xiuqin screamed and tried to hug her. Stop screaming. Call your brother quickly and go to the hospital. Lu Hua forced himself to stay calm. He grabbed Lu Li's hand. Feeling a weak pulse, he breathed a sigh of relief. She's alive, but she's lost too much blood. We need to get her to the hospital. I had just come out of the Industry and Commerce Bureau with Chen Hai. The company registration documents had been submitted. We went to the rented storefront, planning to start the renovation. Just then, my mother-in-law called. Xiao Wang. Lu Li slit her wrists last night. She's at the city hospital now. If you're willing to come see her. I was stunned. She actually tried to commit suicide. From my mother-in-law's tone, she didn't die. What a pity. Mom, don't panic. I'll be right there. After hanging up, I said to Chen Hai, keep an eye on the renovation. I have something to take care of. When I arrived at the ward, Mom, Dad, how is Lu Li? She lost too much blood and is still getting a transfusion. She hasn't woken up. Lu Hua said. Xiao Wang, what exactly happened last night? Why would she do something like this? Uncle Lu Lizzie asked. I paused for a moment. It's actually not a big deal. Lu Li drugged me and forced herself on me. You know, I have a natural aversion to that. After a fight, I was afraid I'd lose control, so I sent her back to her parents. I didn't expect her to do this. I showed a timely look of regret. My father-in-law patted my shoulder. This isn't your fault. Don't blame yourself. Both of you need to calm down. After Lu Li is discharged, I'll take her home. Think carefully about whether to continue or not. After this incident, Lu Hua was a bit more lenient with Lu Li. He was truly afraid of losing a child before him. A chill ran through my heart. My in-laws' attitude was starting to lean toward Lu Li. The shackles of family are indeed not so easy to break. I busied myself at the hospital taking care of Lu Li. I had to win back my position in their eyes. If I had been absent today, their hearts would have completely turned to their daughter. At 9 in the evening, Lu Li woke up. She looked at me, drowsy by the bedside. She reached out and touched my face. Honey, am I in heaven? I grabbed her hand and said softly, rest well. Don't move. She held my hand tightly and wouldn't let go. A smile appeared on her face. Lu Hua saw this and silently walked out of the ward. Honey, forgive me. Okay, I can't lie without you. I was silent for a moment, then said bitterly, Lu Li, I need time. What you did and those videos on lie are lie knives. Stabbing me every day. I can't just forgive and forget. I took the opportunity to fry my hand. Since you're awake, I'll head back. Dad is right. We both need to calm down and think whether to continue or give up. I really don't have an answer right now. Mom, take care of Lu Li. I'm leaving. Lu Li wanted to stop me but couldn't find an excuse. She could only watch me leave. Leaving the hospital, I sat in the car and glared viciously at the hospital. My father-in-law's words were all leaning toward her. Is blood and daughter really that important? Can any big mistake be forgiven? Just wait. You'll eventually hate her. She didn't die this time. There's always a next time. The next day, I didn't go to the hospital. Instead, I went to the rented storefront to discuss the company plan with Chen Hai, and I got all the documents sorted out. Chen Hai held the business license and stared at it. Daring Human Resources Company, Limited Legal Representative, Wang Lin. He chuckled. Brother Lin, you're the bot now. Shouldn't you treat me to a meal? I smiled and said, oh cool. Let's buy some food and celebrate at the orphanage. Lu Li had been discharged 5 days ago and went back to her hometown. I took her back. We haven't contacted each other these days. Some things need to ferment to be effective. On the way to the orphanage, Chen Hai said emotionally. A month ago, I was still working shifts at the factory. Now my whole life has changed. The deadly assembly line at the factory and the lack of ambition really can wear you down. All jobs are the same. You only get something if you put in the effort. Only working for yourself is truly worth it. Back home, the wedding photo on the bedroom wall was glaringly bright. I took down the photo and tore it into pieces. I threw them into the ashtray and burned them. Lu Li, the more I loved you before, the more I hate you now. Why did you betray me? Memories of the past flooded back. Only resentment remained. 3 days later, I wore a suit and came to the storefront. Chen Hai was already waiting. The sign Daring Human Resources Company, Limited was prominently displayed. Couplets were pasted on both sides. Business booming, virtue spreading far, wealth flourishing, reputation lasting long. The horizontal scroll read, making money the right way. Not bad, very classy. I praised. Brother Lin, should we set off firecrackers to celebrate? Chen Hai asked. This isn't the countryside. Forget it, I said. Put up the job recruitment info. Add a notice. No service fee for the first 3 days of opening. Got it. At noon, a few young people with dyed hair came into the store. But, I'm eating. Should we come back later? I put down my takeout. It's fine. What kind of job are you looking for? Is there an electronics factory with lots of pretty girls? Looking for a girlfriend? I said. Donghua Electronics is hiring a lot. Making car toys. The work is easy and relaxed. No need to wear dust fry suits. And there are plenty of pretty girls. Monthly salary over 5,000. But you need to work night shifts. No problem with staying up late. There are fewer supervisors at night, so it's easier to flirt. A young man laughed. After they filled out the forms, I said, remember to fix your hair. Otherwise, you won't get in. Got it, bot. Then they left with a laugh. In the evening, Chen Hai flipped through the records and laughed. Brother Lin, 10 people found jobs through our introduction today. Isn't that a good start? Not bad. Tomorrow will be even better. Back in the neighborhood, I sat in the car and lit a cigarette. Lu Li had been back in her hometown for over 10 days. No contact. I wondered if she was drowning in the rumors or slowly adapting. Thinking about this is useless. Hope nothing unexpected happens. In Lu family village, Lu Li sat on the second floor balcony looking at the moon. Wang Xiuqin stood beside her. It's been over 10 days. What have you decided? To continue or give up? Mom, I can't let go. Wang Lin, it's useless if you can't let go. It depends on whether she can accept you. You're so smart. How could you do something so stupid? Wang Xiuqin asked the reason for the first time. He had leverage over me. If I didn't cooperate, I'd go to jail. But it's been handled now. But your problem now is Xiao Wang. It's hard for him to accept you again. The next day, I called Chen Hai. I told him I had something to do today. You're in full charge of the store. Consider it a tete. Brother Lin, we've only been open for 2 days, and you already want to be an absentee bot. Chen Hai said helplessly. I really have things to do. Just hire someone. Salary around 5,000. Raise it if performance is good. Better to hire a young girl to attract customers and give you a chance to find a girlfriend. Brother Lin, are you exploiting your employees? This is called the beauty effect. Alright, the key is to hire a pretty girl. I hung up. I looked at myself in the mirror. A sinister smile appeared on my face. Lu Li, are you ready? After careful consideration, I still thought it was better to keep her by my side, to easily observe her mental state, so I could adjust my future plans. And I was afraid she'd overcome her psychological trauma back home. Also afraid of dragging it out too long. My in-laws might think I wanted a divorce. 3 hours later, I drove into Lu family village, honking the horn from time to time. Everyone who had gotten up in the village saw me. Isn't that Wang Lin? Why is she back again? Probably not divorced yet. Maybe they're here to divorce. Lu Li is too shameless. I can't hear these comments. The gone is achieved. Let the whole village see. I forgive Lu Li and take her back. The car stops at Lu Li's doorstep. A crowd of onlookers follows behind. I compose my expression and get out. My in-laws are already waiting at the door. Xiao Wang, you're here. What have you decided? Lu Hua asks. Mom and Dad, I've thought it through. I love Lu Li. I want to take her back, but Lu Li. I interrupt him and say, Dad, I can forget this. You don't believe me either. So I have one condition. Lu Li must stay home full-time from now on. I don't need her to work for money. Just stay home nicely. This is Lai house arrest. She'll lose her social circle. Her life will only have me and the market vendors. Lu Hua is still hesitating. Lu Li appears on the second floor balcony, shouting happily. Honey, I agree. I'll stay home and cook and clean for you. Just don't ignore me anymore. Otherwise, I'll really go crazy. Wow, Wang Lin actually forgave Lu Li. Maybe he really loves her. This kid is good, never gives up. Hearing the comments behind me, I smile slightly. Good wife. At first, I might still be a bit cold, but I'll adjust. Let's go home. Lu Li throws herself into my arms, crying with emotion. Honey, you're so good. I suppress my disgust and hold her. Wife, let's go home. Xiao Wang is such a good kid. Lu Li is lucky from now on. Such a good man, wasted on her. I secretly rejoice. My image is set. From now on, no one will believe whatever Lu Li says. After saying goodbye to my in-laws, I drive away with Lu Li. In the car, Lu Li calls me honey repeatedly. I respond grumpily. A chill runs down my spine. Honey, will you really not ignore me anymore? Probably not. No, you have to promise. Let's take it naturally. I'll try to consider your feelings. I'm a bit annoyed. As soon as we get home, Lu Li tries to kiss me. I push her head away, saying I need time. Not used to intimacy. She looks disappointed. I say, you stay home for now. I'll go trek the sop. Lu Li looks at the messy house, picks up the mop and starts cleaning. After cleaning the living room, she washes the dishes, cleans the entire house. She notices the wedding photo is missing from the bedside, sits on the sofa, dejected. A home without a wedding photo isn't a home. She still hasn't fully forgiven me. I come home, see the renewed house, and nod in satisfaction. Lu Li, in a maid outfit, bows and serves tea. Honey, you've worked hard. Welcome home. I take the hot tea and sit down. She massages my shoulders and back from behind. Honey, did you hide the wedding photo? I burned it in anger before. Her massage gets harder, her voice trembling. Can we take a new one? I'm busy, and I don't want to. It's fine now. I'll hang a curse word another day. I refuse directly. Lu Li's eyes dim, her movement slow. I sneer inside. I'll never take a wedding photo with her again. I don't even see her as a person. After enjoying her service, I get up to wash up. Lu Li sits on the sofa, a sparkle in her eyes. My attitude is much better than before. She sees hope. Brother Lin, the job ads have been up for days. Why isn't anyone applying? Are the requirements too high? Chin Hai grumbles. Didn't a few come? You sent them away because they weren't pretty enough. I smile and say, those were all anti-level. They didn't even read the ad. Take it slow, no rush. I look at the files. Chin Hai, take the Tim to interview at Weining Tech later. There are over 20 people this time. Be serious. Got it. He rides off lazily on his e-bike. These days, Diren's reputation has spread. All job postings require no fees. Workers are willing to come here for jobs. Just then, a young, pretty woman pushes the door open. I stand up, pour a glass of water, and ask her, Miss, what job are you looking for? Wang Lin. She takes the water, a bit surprised. We met at the bar. My name is Li Shiyu. Oh, it's you. Since we know each other, I'll waive the service fee. Uncle, you're so enthusiastic. You'll make me think you have ulterior motives. She teases. You're a beauty. It's normal for me to have thoughts, but you have to give me a chance. How about the Yuan Hoteo tonight? Li Shiyu's cheeks flush. She picks up the water glass to drink. I know when to stop. Just kidding. What job are you looking for? I saw you're hiring. I wonder if I'm suitable. She says nervously, I used to do financial management. The factory wasn't doing well, so I quit. I looked at her seriously. You fit the requirements well. Let me see your resume. Li Shiyu. The name is quite poetic. I compliment her. You didn't remember my name, did you? She rolls her eyes. Your major is good. We happen to need a finance person. I hire you as financial director. What do you think? Li Shiyu is overjoyed, takes the contract and signs her name. You better not be lying to me. Our company only has 3 people now. You handle finance, so you're the financial director. She immediately looks unhappy. I thought I'd have subordinates, so it's a Shitat AP. When we grow, I'll give you subordinates. I smile awkwardly. Since you're the financial director, I have to pay you that salary. I regret my big mouth. Based on Nanchang rates, a financial director's monthly salary is 10,000 to 15,000. How about 10,000 a month? We're friends. Are you okay with the lowest rate? She retorts. I grit my teeth and say, 12,000, no more. Li Shiyu smiles. Deal. Chen Hai returns from the interview. His eyes light up when he sees Li Shiyu. Chen Hai, this is our new financial director, Li Shiyu. Shiyu, this is the deputy director and errand boy, Chen Hai. You can boss him around. Chen Hai glares at me, pretentiously extends his hand. Miss Li Shiyu, hello. Welcome to the company. Please take care of me, Director Chen. Li Shiyu smiles slightly. Shiyu, go home for today. Come to work tomorrow. Remember to prepare your computer. After she leaves, Chen Hai sidles up. Brother Lin, we were looking for an interview lead. Why did you hire a financial director? What's the salary? I messed up. I originally wanted her to handle income and expenses. My mind went blank and I gave her the financial director title. I smile bitterly. 12,000. Brother Lin, you're crazy. We might not even earn that much in a month. Chen Hai gets excited. The contract is signed. I can't fire her and pay 3 months' salary. We'll get through it. I say helplessly, so should my deputy director's salary also be over 10,000? I slap him on the head, thinking, dream on. We're still in the Shitat AP phase. How did the interview go? Over a dozen went in. A few young ones quit because it was dirty. Chen Hai says in an old-fashioned tone. Young people today can't handle hardship. Back in the day, I did all kinds of dirty work. We're different from them. We have no one backing us. They have their parents to help. They're not as desperate for money. I say. A wave of loneliness washes over me. The word parents is too distant for us. After work, I go home. Lu Li's outfit surprises me. She's wearing a flight attendant uniform. Black stockings and long legs are very eye-catching. Welcome home, honey. Dinner is ready. Please, husband, dine. She bows. I reach out and lightly pinch her cheek. Don't wear this kind of clothes anymore. I don't lie it. Not because it's not pretty, but because she's not worthy. I drape my jacket over her. Go to the kitchen to wash my hands and eat. During the meal, she rubs my leg with her black stockinged foot. I lightly step on her toes. She settles down. After the meal, she washes the dishes and sits next to me, tries to lean on my shoulder. I move aside. She lies directly on the sofa, looking at me angrily. Honey, you said you wouldn't ignore me. I worked hard all day. Can't I even lean on you? You can, but not now. I'm tired. I'll shower first. Soon after, Luli pushes the door open, holding a towel, wanting to scrub my back. I close my eyes and say nothing. She thinks I agree, walks over happily. Then, with her help, I put on my pajamas. Luli's face is flushed, but her eyes show disappointment. She still didn't get what she wanted. Bastard. I just want a child. Why won't you let me? She complains, looking at my back. The next day, I leave home without breakfast. Arrive at the shop. Li Xiu is already sitting in my seat. To save money, I didn't prepare a computer or desk for her. Wang Lin, your company's books are really clear. 30,000 in expenses, less than 3,000 in income. I doubt you can pay me at the end of the month, she says without looking up. The company just started. Expenses exceeding income is normal. It'll be better next month. Over 10 days in business, 3,000 in income. It means we're making money, I say with a smile. She rolls her eyes. I smile awkwardly. After eating the breakfast Chen Hai brought, more people start coming outside. Just then, two young, pretty women push the door open. Sister Xiu, first day at work. We came to see you. Chen Hai and I brighten up. Each of us goes to greet them. Ladies, welcome for the inspection. I hand over the drinks I just bought. Isn't this the handsome guy from that night? You're the bot here? Luo Yao says with a smile. Sister Xiu isn't honest, keeping it all to herself. Qin Shui teases. Don't talk nonsense. The bot is already married. I'm not that kind of person. Li Xiu quickly explains. Chen Hai sits back in his chair, dejected, feeling it's impossible to find a girlfriend around me. Pretty girls all flock to me. They don't even look at him. With three beauties in the shop, passing young people keep glancing over. Some bold ones come in. Bot, any good jobs? Chen Hai steps up to greet them. Brother, you've come to the right place. What kind of job are you looking for? The guy sneaks a peek at the beauties. Find a high-paying factory. Making money is key. Brother, great mindset. Young people should focus on earning money first. Chen Hai looks like he's found a kindred spirit. I excuse myself and walk over to them. Brother, found a job you lie? I only have one requirement. No harm to help. A job with a salary no less than 5,000. Chen Hai recommends a good electronics factory. Salary meets the requirement, and there are lots of girls, with someone taking the lead. Plus the beauties. More and more people come in. Most people are sensible. They look at the beauties while also looking for jobs. But there are also clueless ones. A self-important young man hits on them. Ladies, do you have boyfriends? Qin Shui and Luo Yao look up at him, then look down at their phones, blatantly ignoring him. The young man's face turns ugly. He leaves under the mocking gaze of the crowd. I smile bitterly and shake my head. They brought in foot traffic, but also made some customers leave unhappy. Overall though, it's good. In 2 hours, we signed up over 100 people. 300 yuan per person as a referral fee. Over 30,000 total. Though it'll be refunded if they don't start work. At least it's in our pockets for now. I pour 2 glasses of water. Walk over to Qin Shui and Luo Yao. Ladies, thank you for bringing so many customers. It's almost lunchtime. Would you honor me with lunch? Sure. Luo Yao says happily. Bot Wang, you made tens of thousands. If lunch is under 1,000, we're not going. Sister Luo Yao, that money isn't really earned yet. He might have to refund it out of his own pocket. Li Xiu says discontentedly. Sister Xiu, you're so cute acting like a housewife, thinking we're spending her money. Luo Yao laughs. See, you said you weren't keeping it to yourself. Look at you being so protective. Qin Shui chimes in. Li Xiu is embarrassed and angry. I wisely pretend to answer my phone and step out of the shop. After a while, I drive the three beauties to a Nai hotel. Chen Hai has to lead an interview. Qin Shui and Luo Yao only order about 500 yuan worth of food. They didn't really take advantage of me. Li Xiu, seeing the food is enough, doesn't order more. After the meal, I take the packed leftovers to see them off. Qin Shui and Luo Yao take Li Xiu back to the shop. As soon as I enter, I meet Chen Hai's resentful gaze. Brother Lin, we're brothers. That wasn't Xiu. I awkwardly hand him the packed food. My bad this time. I promise it won't happen again. He looks at the leftovers, even more resentful. You jerk, forgetting your friends for a woman. Li Xiu says gleefully. You're in trouble. Deputy Director Chen is mad. You'll be running errands yourself tomorrow. Nothing much in the afternoon. Chen Hai comes over hurriedly with his phone. Brother Lin, a beverage factory is hiring on Lipin. They need to fill over a dozen department managio and supervisor positions. Good pay. Let me see. I perk up. If we land this deal, we could make a lot. Chen Hai says with a smile. Li Xiu explains, according to headhunting rules, if they're hired, we charge 10% of their annual salary. That could be over 200,000. But that's for headhunting firms. We don't have that kind of network. I'm tempted. Making over 200,000 in 20 days is tempting. But I know I don't have the capability. That's fast money. I'm jealous. What are you jealous of? We made over 30,000 today. At least 10,000 will stick, plus ongoing income. We're making a good amount monthly. They're just in a high-end industry. In terms of profit, we're not far off. Li Xiu says, Brother Lin, let's focus on labor services. We can't touch the high-end industry. Chen Hai advises. I know we should play it safe, but we can't stop here. We have to aim higher. You don't want to lie this forever, do you? I say firmly, with a plan in mind. First, build up connections and capital for 3 to 5 years. Then consider the headhunting industry. If that's your plan, no problem. As long as you don't delay my salary, I'm fine. Li Xiu takes out her phone to scroll through videos. Her work is done. I'm bored at the shop. Drive to the Yongfeng factory. This is one of the top factories locally. Good pay and environment. I've come several times but couldn't seal a deal. This is my last try. I bribe the security guard with a pack of Donghua cigarettes. I get into the factory smoothly. Arrive at the HR Managio's office. I push the door open and say with a smile, Managio Su. Good afternoon. Managio Su says helplessly, you again. We already have a partner. No matter how many times you come, it's useless. Managio Su, having a partner doesn't mean you can't have another. Why not hear my terms first? You get 70%, I get 30%. I'm going all out. This split leaves almost no profit. Managio Su asks in surprise, what did you just say? You get 70%, I get 30%. I nod with a smile. That's right, I just take a small fee for my trouble. Managio Su's face instantly brightens. He stands up, pats my shoulder, and says, Brother Wang, I lie you more and more. From now on, all our hiring is yours. All yours? What about your current partner? I ask uncertainly. What partner? You're my only partner. He laughs. I laugh along, but curse inside. This Su guy is so greedy. Couldn't agree on a 50-50 split before, but immediately agreed to 70-30. Others get 70%. They get 30%. They're insatiable. Brother Wang, today, I'll treat you to dinner at Shaoxiang Grand Hotel. Let's go now. Ma Najio Su puts his arm around my shoulder and leads me out. I naturally won't refuse this meal. He's greedy, but efficient. After a few drinks, he insists on arranging a companion for me. I hold my aching head and stand up. Then I get dressed and leave. I also send a message to Chenhai, telling him to print out the Yongfeng factory's job postings. Pot them. Give the sample to Li Xiu to do. I'll send her the info later. Brother Lin, awesome. Yangfeng is a big factory. They'll need hundreds more in peak season. We'll make a killing. After sending the message, I take a TAC 11 away from the hotel. On the way, the TAC 11 driver hands me a tissue. Brother, wipe off the lipstick on your face. I look at the red lip print in the rearview mirror. A creepy smile curls at the corner of my mouth. I take the tissue and casually wipe it off. Thanks, driver. I get home. Lu Li sits on the sofa, looking haggard. Looks like she waited for me all night. Hearing the door, she turns instantly. A look of relief on her face. She called me. Called over 100 times. No one answered. She was panicked but didn't dare go out to look. Just waited anxiously for me. Honey, you're back. She walks toward me happily, but as she gets close, her smile slowly fades. She reaches out to touch the lip print on my face. Her suppressed resentment explodes. Wang Lin, what is this? You better explain yourself. Explain what? Work socializing. Had some drinks and entertained a client. What's the big deal? I push her away tiredly. While I shower, I hear smashing sounds from outside. I ignore it and shower. After about 10 minutes, I come out wrapped in a towel. The living room is a mess. Lu Li sits on the sofa with disheveled hair. I walk over and crouch in front of her, brush her hair behind her ear and say gently, Lu Li, if you're done being mad, make breakfast. I'm hungry. Lu Li looks at me in disbelief. You think I'm making a scene? She trembles with anger. Fine, I'll show you a scene. She looks around for something to smash, but finds everything smashable is already broken. I step closer, backing her into a corner. Decide to change my plan on the spot. Maybe this approach works too. What do you want? Hit me? Go ahead. I suddenly smile gently. Cup her face in my hands. You look so cute when you're angry. Lu Li is stunned. Her heart races. She closes her eyes and wraps her arms around my waist. I don't kiss her lips, just kiss her forehead. She opens her eyes, both shy and angry, struggles and says, you go out and fool around, then touch me. I don't agree. But her struggle is weak, her eyes full of anticipation. In the struggle, she accidentally pulls off my towel. An hour later, Lu Li walks out of the bedroom contentedly, cleaning up the mess, humming a Het Pai tune. I, on the other hand, didn't get enough sleep last night. Watching her act like a little woman, I sneer inside. Everything is going according to plan. She'll soon know the consequences of betrayal. Honey, why don't you sleep a bit more? I made chicken soup. Drink it while it's hot. I sit on the sofa scrolling through my phone. Chen Hai sends a message. Brother Lin, of the 30,000 from yesterday, 15,000 is fully in the Oatsao. I reply with a smile. Good job. Half of the 100 people dropped out. That's a loss. We'll try to get everyone a job in the future. Reduce profit loss, though it's impossible. But we need to improve our service, so people think of us when job hunting. By the way, why didn't you come today? Too tired? Ma Najio Su dragged me to a full night out last night. Couldn't escape. Brother Lin, you've fallen from grace. Not taking me along for good stuff like that. I still don't have a girlfriend. Chen Hai's resentment runs deep. I quickly closed WeChat, switched to a 6DOEP to scroll. Lu Li heard clearly in the kitchen. Her expression was complicated. Wang Lin had changed. He never used to go to places like that. But he didn't hide it from her. She didn't even have a reason to be angry. After all, she was the one unfaithful first. Honey, the soup is ready. He carried the soup into the living room. I gently waved him over to sit down, grabbed her hand and praised her. Lu Li, you're really capable. Too bad you did something foolish. Our relationship can't go back to how it was. Honey, I was wrong. I don't expect you to treat me like before. Just don't abandon me, he begged. Silly, don't say you were wrong anymore. It's because I didn't spend enough time with you before that you did something foolish. I promise you'll see me every day from now on. In the afternoon, I strolled into the shop. Li Xiu was sitting at the computer eating chips. I sat down next to her without ceremony and joined in. Bot, how did you handle the onion factory yesterday? He asked while watching a show. Of course, with my excellent eloquence. You're full of it. Why didn't you get it before? I was busy. I negotiated nearly 50 factory job listings for the shop. Yongfeng is a big factory. I thought it'd be tough, so I left it for later. Can't have no job listings after opening, right? So you're saying you're pretty capable. Of course, otherwise, why would I be the bot and you the employee? I was about to serve some motivational poison, but got hooked by the show. The shop fell silent. Only the sound of the TV DRA. I grabbed for chips mindlessly, but ended up grabbing Li Xiu's hand. What are you doing? My hand isn't a chip. He scolded. I let go awkwardly, changing the subject. Quick, look, he's cornering her. Li Xiu rolled her eyes at me and kept watching. Chen Hai came back and saw this. He was furious. That's too much. I'm out here working, and you two are watching shows? I tossed him a bag of snacks. Go sit over there and eat. Soon, Chen Hai also sat down to binge watch. One episode ended. Li Xiu's snacks were finished. I got up, feeling bored. Said righteously, all right, you two are openly watching shows during work hours. Don't you respect me, your bot? Believe me, I'll dock your pay. Chen Hai was stunned. Brother Lin, you're burning the bridge. I wasn't watching, I said confidently. Li Xiu looked up. You just have too much energy. Hire a few pretty female employees to burn it off. I had an idea and asked Xiu ingratiatingly. Do your two girlfriends have jobs? Would they be willing to work here? Li Xiu laughed. Don't get any ideas about them. They're not short on money at all. They could open over 200 of your little company combined. And that's not counting family money. I gulped an SOC. Didn't expect them to be two rich girls. Looks like marrying into money isn't easy. I was planning to be a lion's son-in-law. I joked. Handsome. Who are you planning to be a lion's son-in-law for? Luo Yao pushed the door open and came in. She'd clearly heard what I said. I stood up awkwardly. Sister Luo, I was just joking. I'm not joking. You choose me or Qingxue? She asked with a grin. Chen Hai shot me a sympathetic look, pulled out his phone, pretended to take a call, and ran. Of course, you, Sister Luo. You're cute and good with words, I said. Li Xiu laughed. Why not choose Sister Qing? She's also pretty, sexy, and rich. She's too aloof, a queen vibe that makes me feel inferior. You're more approachable, Sister Luo. So you're saying I'm not as good as Qingxue? Luo Yao dropped her smile and demanded. This woman changes her face faster than flipping a book. 1 second, all smiles. The next, icy cold. I didn't say that. Sister Luo, you must be here for Xiu. You two chat. I'll be going. With that, I escaped. Talking to a woman looking for a fight. Anything you say can be picked apart. Best way way is to just leave. Laughter from the two women came from the shop. I took the cigarette Chinhai offered. Frustrated, I squatted on the curb and smoked. Brother Lin, I think she's right. You need to get me a few beauties, so I have motivation to work. I shot him a glare. You need my help to find a wife. Lots of women come to the shop looking for work every day. Just hire whichever one catches your eye. I don't have time to deal with that. Brother Lin, you agree? Chenhai was delighted. Handle it yourself, but don't hire 5 or 6 at once. I can't handle that. You watch the shop. I'm heading back. For the next month, I basically lived a 2.1 life, running between home and the shop. The shop situation stabilized completely. Minimum daily income was over 1,000. On a good day, over 5,000. After paying wages, I could still make tens of thousands a month. Back home, Lu Li saw how tired I was. She'd gotten used to this life. After making me eat breakfast, she sat on the sofa, staring at the bedroom door, her eyes full of resentment. She wanted to monopolize everything I had, but had no right to demand anything from her husband. Can we really never go back to how we were? I made a mistake, but you did too. Why can't we forgive each other? If I heard that, I'd just sneer. What right does she have to talk about forgiveness? At the table, I enjoyed her cooking. I suddenly said, in 3 days, it's Dad's 55th birthday, right? Honey, thank you for remembering. Det, 3 days. If you're busy, we don't have to go back. I frowned. What are you saying? How can we not go back for Dad's birthday? We'll go back in a couple of days. Help Dad with some things in advance. Honey, you're so good. As we spoke, Lu Li suddenly felt nauseous. Rushed to the bathroom to vomit. She's pregnant. That thought popped into my head. I hadn't held back with her this month. Pregnancy was expected. I crouched behind her, patting her back. Lu Li, go to the hospital for a trek up. Lu Li wanted to trek too. She thought it was morning sickness. Wanted to use the child to tie me down. Her husband. I'll wash up and go. Then I drove her to the hospital. After the blood draw, we left. Blood test results take 5 or 6 hours. In the car, Lu Li acted cute, wanting to go shopping for clothes. Since I brought her back, she'd never made such a request. Now she probably felt different because of the bee-buy. I sneered inside but didn't refuse. Accompanied her shopping for over 2 hours. She only bought clothes for me. But on the drive back, she sent me links to over a dozen sexy lingerie sets on Taobao. Asked me to pay. I agreed readily. Lu Li was a full-time housewife, only had the 100 yuan daily food money I gave her. If she wanted money, she had to ask me. I went to the hospital early to get the blood test report. Back in the car, I lit a cigarette. Calmed myself before opening it. Lu Li was indeed pregnant. About a month. The timeline matches. Good, good. Lu Li, I wonder if you can handle what's coming. I threw away the cigarette butt, drove to the market and bought an old hen. I had to make a show of caring. Back home, Lu Li was dressed in a bunny girl outfit. Welcome home. Don't you like this outfit? It's Nai, you little bunny. Carrying a little bunny, go put on some clothes and stew this old hen to nourish your body. Don't worry, only you can see it. I'll put on clothes when I go to the kitchen. She grabbed a trench coat and put it on, but then she was stumped by the old hen. Honey, I don't know how to kill a chicken. What a hassle. Go boil some hot water. I'll do it. I took the old hen, grabbed a knife and went into the bathroom. 2 minutes later, I came out with a headless chicken. Washing my hands, I said, when the water boils, call me. I'll pluck the feathers. Lu Li looked at the clean cut on the chicken's neck, stepped back in fear, somehow imagined herself being cut in two, felt a bit relieved. That night, I didn't show up immediately. Actually, my actions that night had flaws. If he'd spent 5,000 to 10,000, hired a detective, he could have found out. I rented a house 10 kilometers away, but he trusted me too much, never suspected. At lunch, Lu Li served me Laya bunny. The soup meant to nourish her. Most of it ended up in my stomach. This life was nigh, but not what I wanted. I missed the old Lu Li, who had a bit of a temper. That was the perfect version in my memory. After cleaning the table, Lu Li was busy in the kitchen. I sat on the sofa smoking, staring blankly at a corner. Should I let this child be born? The child is innocent. Would this be too cruel? But remembering Lu Li's betrayal, my heart grew harder. A child with this woman wasn't worth having. Just then, Lu Li leaned over the table. Honey, I'm pregnant. We can't be intimate anymore. Go change your clothes. We're going to your hometown. Dad's birthday is in 2 days. We should let them know you're pregnant. I tugged at her bunny tail. Lu Li didn't want to go, but had no choice. He was her father. She got up, kissed my cheek, and skipped into the bedroom. I wanted her to understand. Only within these 100 square meters was she Lu Li outside this home. She was a despised woman. I would deepen her dependence on this home, then destroy her last sanctuary. Changed clothes. Lu Li hid behind me as we left the house. Every time she went out, she had to muster great courage. The sneers and curses around her never truly stopped. She could only endure in silence, afraid of causing me trouble. Once in the car, her expression relaxed a bit, but still wasn't natural. Going back to the hometown meant facing many relatives. She couldn't bear those strange looks. Lu Li was very quiet the whole way. The ease at home and the oppression outside were like two different people. Before dark, the car entered Lu family village. As soon as they entered the village, Lu Li rolled up the car window. She wanted to hide the news of her return, even if it wouldn't last long. Ostracism from family often hurts more than insults from strangers. That's the weight of blood ties. Auntie, how have you been lately? I smiled eagerly. Xiao Wang, why are you back so early? Won't it affect your work? Lu Hua smiled, his tone full of concern. Exactly. Your work can't be delayed. Wang Xuqin chimed in. Lu Li stood by like a ghost, not even a greeting. Mom, how could my work be more important than Dad's birthday? I'm the bot now. A few days off is no problem. You started a company? Doing what? Lu Hua asked curiously. Dad, I started a labor agency. If anyone in the village needs a job, just tell them to find me. I'll help for fry. Good. Being your own bot means no taking orders. I just lit a cigarette, suddenly frowned and said to Lu Li, move away. The smoke is bad for you. This sudden concern made Lu Li inexplicably want to cry. She nodded. Mom, Dad, I'll go to my room first. I'll cook later. Let your mom cook. You rest well, I said, watching her back. Lu Hua pondered for a moment. Mom, Dad, Lu Li is over a month pregnant. We came back to see the good news. I put on a het pie face. The elders were delighted. This child was a blessing to save the family. I'll go catch an old hen to nourish Xiao Li. Wang Xuqin stood up with a smile. Mom, Xiao Li doesn't like chicken soup. She has to drink it whether she likes it or not. If not, I'll pour it down her throat. My mouth twitched. I didn't know how to respond. Lu Hua noticed my awkwardness. Xiao Wang, ignore her. Let's talk. Neighbors started dropping by. Uncles, aunties, if any relatives need a job, send them to me. I guarantee you'll find something satisfactory. I handed out business cards. Dear Human Resources Company, Limited. Xiao Wang, you're impressive. Just a small company, I said humbly. Lu Hua suddenly spoke to Lu Xingye. Old Yi, isn't your Xiao Yuan an adult now? Let Xiao Wang find him a job. Don't let him waste away at home. Really? Xiao Wang, can you find Xiao Yuan a job? Lu Xingye was excited. Uncle Lu, as long as Xiao Yuan can work hard. Lu Xingye hurried back, soon returned, dragging Lu Yuan along. Lu Yuan's face was pale, a sign of long-term lack of exercise. Brother Lin, is there any easy work? I can't do anything too tiring. Lu Yuan suddenly spoke. No manual labor. 8 hours a day is fine. You little brat, being so picky. Lu Xingye slapped him on the head. Xiao Wang, try to find him something easy. Afraid he can't handle it and runs back. Uncle Lu, I'll put Xiao Yuan in an electronics factory. The work isn't heavy, and it's fry. Lots of young people there. Lots of girls too. Maybe he'll bring home a daughter-in-law for you. I joked. The next day, I got up early, stood on the second floor balcony, deep in thought. After Lu Li got pregnant, her status in the family was subtly rising, but her fate was already sealed. Xiao Wang, up so early? Lu Li is pregnant. What are your thoughts? Lu Hua suddenly looked at me seriously. Dad, I might not lop her as much as before, but I want the child. It's mine. A faint smile hung on my lips. Lu Hua relaxed, patted my shoulder. Xiao Wang, Lu Li is my daughter. Even if she did wrong, I have to protect her. I hope you understand. Dad, I get it. Blood is thicker than water. After breakfast, I wandered around the village, offered cigarettes and chatted with elders. I wanted to build relationships. If something happened later, they'd likely side with me. At noon, I ate at Lu Xingye's house. After a few drinks, he said, face red. Xiao Wang, with your qualifications, you could easily find someone better. Lu Li isn't good enough for you. You're talking nonsense after a few drinks. Auntie Lu glared at him. I'm not wrong. Lu Xingye stuck his neck out, but was silenced by Auntie Lu's look. Swallowed the rest of his words. I smoothed things over. Auntie Lu, don't be angry. Uncle Lu is just drunk. I don't mind. Xiao Wang, I'm so I spoke without thinking. Lu Xingye apologized. Uncle Lu, it's fine. Let's eat. As I left, Lu Xingye insisted on giving me sausages and 30 gene of cured meat for helping Xiao Yuan find a job. This is a thank you gift. Don't offer money. It's too formal. Behind me, Lu Yuan suddenly asked, Brother Lin, why don't you divorce Sister Lu Li after what she did to you? Xiao Yuan, you don't understand. Whether she's good enough is for me to decide. My tone turned cold. Don't say things like that in front of Lu Li. She's pregnant and very sensitive. Lu Yuan glared at me defiantly, but said nothing more. I put down the gifts, said goodbye, and left. Back at my father-in-law's house, I said, Dad, don't cook tomorrow. We'll eat out. It's your birthday. I have to do something. Back in the bedroom, Lu Li, seeing me reeking of alcohol, frowned and advised, honey, drink less in the future. It's bad for your health. Hep hi. Uncle Lu kept pushing drinks. Can't refuse an elder's offer. I mumbled and lay down. She shook her head helplessly, poured a glass of water and placed it on the nightstand. Drink some water before resting, or you'll have a headache. You go out. Call me for dinner. The alcohol smell is bad for you. Alone, I drove Lu Li and her parents to the county town. All of my father-in-law's siblings came. Over 20 people in total. I took them to a hot pot buffet. Spent over 2,000 on 2 tables of food and drinks. After a few rounds, the atmosphere was warm. My in-laws' smiles never faded. They kept praising me. Lu Li smiled along, said very little. She was afraid relatives would say hurtful things. I handled the relatives, while also serving Lu Li food. This scene deepened everyone's fondness for me, but their impression of Lu Li kept dropping. Brother-in-law, I heard you started a labor agency. Do you need people? Can I come? Lu Xing walked over with a wine glass, put her hand on my shoulder. Wang Xiqin's eyes twitched slightly, seemed a bit unhappy. Cousin Lu Xing, aren't you still in school? I asked, puzzled. Brother-in-law, I graduated last year. You forgot, she chuckled. Oh, my memory. I slapped my forehead. You have a bachelor's degree. Working for me would be a waste. Didn't Uncle want you to be a teacher? It's hard to find a teaching job. Rather than be idle, I'd rather work for you and try my luck in Nanchang. Alright, start at my place. I'll help you find some connections in schools. I agreed. Thanks, brother-in-law. I'm done. Your turn. Lu Xing downed her cola in one gulp. That's bullying. You're drinking cola while I'm drinking liquor, I said with a wry smile. Brother-in-law, whatever you want, she said slyly. Xiao Wang, I'm entrusting Lu Xing to you. Uncle stood up. Uncle, it's my duty. Lu Li brought over the cake. Saw Lu Xing's hand on my shoulder. Her eyes turned hostile. They always competed for things since childhood. Their relationship was never good. Dad, blow out the candles. Lu Li lit the candles. Lu Hua looked at her. Her recent behavior had been acceptable. Didn't give him a cold shoulder. After blowing out the candles, Lu Xing was in charge of cutting the cake. Lu Li knew that food she offered would inevitably be met with disgust. Rather than face embarrassment, she chose not to. Second uncle, here's a big piece for you. You have to finish it. Lu Xing handed over the cake. You little girl, trying to stuff me to death. Lu Hua scolded with a laugh. Then 4 or 5 kids gathered around, shouting for cake. Lu Xing said sternly, stop yelling. Everyone line up. If you don't follow the rules, you'll get a spanking. She was good with kids. Had the makings of a teacher. Lu Li watched Lu Xing surrounded by younger cousins, a look of loneliness in her eyes. That used to be her moment. After the dinner, I booked several rooms at a hotel in the county town. Everyone had been drinking and couldn't drive back. Brother-in-law, remember to call me when you leave. If you try to run, you'll be in trouble next time. Lu Xing said, don't worry. You know where I lie. I'm not going anywhere. Just trying to save on bot fare, she explained quietly. Alright, I'm going back now. Remember to call me. With that, she drove her family home in Uncle's car. Lu Li felt uneasy, had a sense of crisis, maybe because of Lu Xing, or something else. After settling the elders and those staying, I held my head. Help me to the room. Get yourself another room. I'm drunk. Afraid I'll lose control. Lu Li didn't think twice. She was pregnant and knew some things couldn't be forced. Back in the room, I fell asleep quickly. I can't hold my liquor, but I'm a good drunk. Don't talk nonsense. The next day, after breakfast, I sent the 2 elders home not long ago. Lu Yuan came down with his suitcase, escorted by Lu Xingye and his wife. Xiao Wang, I'm entrusting this kid to you. Uncle Lu, it's my duty. We'll head off now. Then I went to pick up Lu Xing. We left Lu family village. We returned home. Lu Li brewed tea and then went out to buy groceries. With guests in the house, she, as a hostess, had to entertain properly. Even if she disliked Lu Xing, she couldn't skip the formalities. Once Lu Xing left, she became bolder. Brother-in-law, what's the deal between you and my sister now? Why haven't you divorced? Lu Yuan also perked up his ears. That's none of your business, is it? If I divorced, you could still come to my house as a cousin. I held my teacup and smiled. Without that identity, I have other identities. You'd still have to host me, she muttered. What did you say? I didn't catch that. I said my sister isn't worth you treating her like this, and you're not worth wasting time on her. If Lu Li heard that, there'd probably be a fight. I looked at her serious face, a faint smile curling at my lips. Cousin Lu Xing, are you trying to persuade me to divorce because you have feelings for me? If your sister found out, she'd fight you. Her face flushed, and she said angrily, brother-in-law, you're getting more narcissistic. If I had feelings for you, I'd have snatched you back then, not left you for my sister. So I was just someone you didn't want, so you dumped me on your sister? I was speechless. You said that yourself. It has nothing to do with me, she said coquettishly. The three of us went to the same university back then. He used to come over to hang out. I paused, holding my teacup, looked at her deeply, and drank my tea in silence. I caught her hint. But I didn't want to hurt this quirky girl. This has nothing to do with him, but if he insists on getting involved, I'm not sure I'd hold back. Soon, Lu Li came back with groceries. We were all watching TV. Nothing that would upset her. She smiled, changed the tea for a fresh pot, and went into the kitchen to cook. Sis, let me help. Lu Xing followed her in. My eyes twitched. I felt like she was competing with Lu Li. More lie she was showing off. Lu Li made some room for her. Even if she hated it, she had to put on a smile. Brother-in-law, why does he make you do all this? The smile on Lu Li's face stiffened. I'm just pregnant, not incapable of doing these things. There's nothing I can't do. But you're too busy. It's bad for the B-bye. Lu Li felt she was deliberately trying to upset her. In her current state, she couldn't rest leisurely lie before. An hour later, the food was on the table. Brother-in-law, guess which dish I made? Lu Xing teased. A flicker of displeasure passed through Lu Li's eyes, but she said nothing. I picked up a piece of sweet and sour ribs. I didn't expect you could make such a complicated dish. Good skills. You haven't even tasted it yet. That's too perfunctory, she pouted. Just by looking at the color, I can tell it's good. I put it in my mouth. The taste is really good. You must have practiced a lot. Of course. Look who made it, she said proudly. After the meal, I took Lu Xing and Lu Yuan out. Brother-in-law, help me find a place. It's not suitable to stay at your place, Lu Xing said. Oh cool, I'll take a look later. At the stop, I first arranged Lu Xing's onboarding. I chatted with Li Xiu for a bit, then took her to look for a place. I left Lu Yuan at the stop to watch the place and handle documents. After looking at 4 or 5 places, Lu Xing was finally satisfied. The rent for one place was originally 1,500. She haggled with the landlord for an hour, bringing it down to 1,300. Is it worth wasting so much time for $200? I said, why not? I only have 5,000 on me. I have to be thrifty, she said, dragging me to the supermarket. It took her over 3 hours to buy everything. I was carrying bags and bags. My legs almost numb, but she was as fresh as a daisy. Lu Xing, let's call it a day. Come back another time. I quickly stopped her. She looked at me and laughed. Brother-in-law, you're not up to it. Just this short distance and you're this tired. Seeing my face darken, her tone softened. I'll treat you to milk tea. Please, I'm begging you, let's go back. I can't carry this anymore. I led her toward the parking lot. She obediently followed, not daring to cause trouble. After putting the stuff back in the rental, I was drenched in sweat from exhaustion. Brother-in-law, is it really that tiring? I don't think it's heavy, she said, handing me a tissue. Of course you're not tired. You walked empty-handed the whole time, lying old man. I wiped myself haphazardly. I was giving you a chance to shine. Don't guys lie to show off in front of pretty girls? Besides, you're my brother-in-law. Of course, I leave this kind of thing to you, she said with a charming smile. I looked her up and down. She's pretty, alright, but where do you look like a weak woman? I bet your abs are more defined than mine. Her face flushed, and she pointed at me, scolding. Brother-in-law, you're so bad. I've never taken off my clothes. How do you know I have abs? Have you been peeping at me? I didn't respond. I glanced at her slender waist. I have to admit, her years of yoga weren't for nothing. Her figure is perfect. At 4 p.m., I brought Lu Xing back to the shop. It was almost quitting time. The others had also returned. Chin Hai's eyes lit up when he saw us. He came over and said, Brother Lin, what brings you here? And with a beauty? Aren't you afraid I'll spill the beans? He rubbed his hands together, hinting at a bride. I smiled and punched him lightly. Don't talk nonsense. This is my cousin. She'll be working here from now on. Lu Xing smiled and rolled her eyes at me, then went over to chat with the female employees. Chen Hai pulled me outside. This cousin is not bad. Prettier than Lu Li. You should think about it, he said slyly. What are you thinking? If the Lu family finds out, they'll tear me apart. I said, annoyed. You can think about it after the divorce. Just then, Li Xiu crouched down beside me. Wang Lin, the factory's profit SE has been transferred. It's 50,000 total. Got it. As I was saying, Lu Yuan came back on his electric scooter, carrying a big bag of drinks. This kid is pretty savvy. Uncle Lu's worries were unnecessary. I laughed. Xiao Yuan is doing well, Chen Hai said, grabbing a drink. Lu Yuan smiled awkwardly. Which factory are you planning to send Xiao Yuan to? Chen Hai lit a cigarette and asked. First, I'll see what he thinks. If not, I'll choose. In the evening, I booked a room for Lu Yuan. I drove Lu Xing back to her rental. I was about to leave, but she grabbed my arm. Brother-in-law, why are you in such a hurry to go back? Anyway, my sister isn't important to you. Come in for some tea. How can I refuse? I followed her inside. She brought 2 cups of hot tea. Brother-in-law, try it. My tea skills are good. As expected of a tea master, I took a sip. That's right, she said, sitting down next to me, her hand resting on my shoulder. Brother-in-law, it's just us here. Tell me secretly, what place does my sister really hold in your heart? Why do you care so much? This is between me and your sister, I reminded her. She pouted and didn't continue the topic. I got up to leave, but she accidentally bumped into the sofa leg. Losing her balance, she fell toward me. Brother-in-law, catch me. I didn't react in time. She knocked me down onto the sofa. We were extremely close, able to feel each other's breath. Before I could push her away, she suddenly kissed me. I quickly pushed her away, annoyed. Lu Xing, do you know what you're doing? She licked her lips and said bluntly, of course I know. My sister isn't good enough for you. I plan to take her place. If she can't, you can. I sneered. Why can't I? Ignoring the family relationship, I'm pure. I don't have any of her flaws. If you agree, I'll be your first and last woman, she said confidently. Do you know your sister is pregnant? I know. Just over a month. She can just get an abortion. I calmed down and tried to reason with Lu Xing. If I abandoned your sister to be with you, how could you face your family? What would they say about you? I don't care. He lost his virtue first. Who can blame me? Wang Lin. What else do you have to hold on to? Are you really that spineless? She said sternly. You call me spineless? Isn't it true? She cheated on you, and you forgave her. If that's not spineless, what is? She pressed on. I lop you. Lop my ass, she sneered. From our time together these past few days, I haven't seen any lop from you for her. It's all coldness and indifference. My heart raced. I lowered my head to hide it. How did she notice? What went wrong? Why aren't you talking? Did I hit a nerve? She continued to press. You want to torment her, get revenge on her. You even want her dead, don't you? A cold glint flashed in my eyes. I looked up and stared at her. Lu Xing's appearance disrupted all my plans. I had to rethink my strategy, adding this variable into the equation. I sat in the car and lit a cigarette. I just stared at Lu Xing's window until the cigarette burned out. I rolled up the window. I didn't touch Lu Xing, nor did I promise her anything. Everything was understood in the silence. Lu Li, it's a good thing you're not as smart as your sister. Otherwise, this would be really hard for me. I chuckled. I stepped on the gas and drove home. Lu Li was still waiting for me on the sofa. Her eyes narrowed. She saw the red mark at the corner of my mouth and the faint imprint on my face. I had left those on purpose. I took off my jacket and tossed it to her. Go to bed early. Don't wait for me from now on. Sometimes, I don't know if I'll come back. She held the jacket and sniffed it. Her face grew darker. She recognized Lu Xing's perfume. She wanted to confront me, but had no evidence. Lu Xing, you even want to steal my man. Hatred burned in her eyes. After I finished showering, I put my arm around her and sat on the sofa. She suddenly flashed a sweet smile, which creeped me out. Honey, nothing happened between you and my cousin, right? I'm just asking, not blaming you, she said coquettishly. What could happen between us? Don't slander her. She's your cousin, I said seriously. She took out the jacket. Then why is her perfume on you? I was helping her all day. It's normal to have her scent. We stared at each other. Lu Li suddenly kissed me. Leaning on my shoulder, she said, honey, I'm so I was being too sensitive. I picked her up and carried her into the bedroom. Wife, it's time to rest. The next day, after Lu Li helped me get ready, I left home feeling refreshed. Lu Li watched my car, a cold look in her eyes. Honey, don't do anything you'll regret. If you dare touch Lu Xing, don't blame me for being ruthless. As soon as I got to the company, there was good news. Wang Lin, on the south side of the city, a recruitment site, has a company hiring a Ma Nagio for a 100,000 reward. You should be interested, Li Xiu said. Hearing that, I was immediately intrigued. Sales Ma Nagio, 300k annual salary plus bonuses. Good conditions, take it or not. If you can't do it in a month, you pay 100k. I'll take it. The Ma Nagio from my old company fits the bill. He's been wanting to quit for a while. Then I immediately called Yan Yu to set up a time. I'll meet him and ask if he's interested. I was scrolling through videos when a soft female voice sounded. Bot, can you help me find a job? I looked up and was immediately impressed. The girl was wearing a pure white dress and white sneakers. Her face was cute, with smooth black hair. She gave off a simple and pure vibe. Little sister, why are you out looking for a job so early? I have no money. What else would I do? She blinked her innocent big eyes. What kind of job are you looking for? I don't know anything. Find something simple. I gave her all the job materials to study. She sat on the sofa, holding the materials. She said politely, Bot, I have trouble making decisions. All these jobs look good. I don't know which to choose, she said, puffing out her cheeks. I went over to guide her, pointing out the downsides of each factory. For some reason, I didn't want her to be tainted by the factory environment. But, don't lie to me. Are these factories really that bad? Li Xiu pulled me aside. Bot, don't get any bad ideas. The shop is fully staffed. Send her to Mingyang Electronics factory. There's an interview at 2 p.m. Take her there. I'm afraid she'll be bullied. The factory isn't that dark. We lie in a society governed by law. I thought for a moment. Oh cool. I went back to the girl. She pointed at a picture of Mingyang Electronics factory. Bot, how about this one? It's good. Salary is around 5,500. Easy work with freedom. It suits you. Then I'll choose this one. When's the interview? At 2 p.m. I'll take you there. After waiting until 2, I drove her to the interview. I looked at her through the rearview mirror. Han Ningxuang, my name is Wang Lin. Feel free to contact me anytime. If you're bullied at the factory, I'll help you out. Don't worry, Bot. I'll protect myself. I won't take risks with my life. I drove in silence. My fondness for her wasn't desire, but an urge to protect her. Her innocence and purity struck a chord in my heart. I was afraid my own dirtiness would taint her. Don't call me Bot. You can call me Wang Lin. Then I'll call you Wang Lin. Calling you Brother Lin feels weird. We arrived at Mingyang Electronics factory. I helped her with her luggage. Thank you. There are too few good bosses, Li Yu. Her sincere thanks felt good. Follow me. I'll take you to the interview. Will the people at Wang Lin's factory bully new employees? She suddenly got nervous. No, they won't. Don't worry. That's good. Interpersonal relationships are too troublesome. Ningxuang, if you don't mind me asking, do you have a boyfriend? I probed. Her face reddened, and she said no. If I had a boyfriend, I wouldn't be out here working alone. Are you planning to find one? There are plenty of handsome guys at the factory. A hint of loneliness flickered in her eyes. Forget it. I'll focus on making money first. I inexplicably felt relieved. I took her to the office, then went next door to find Wang Yu. Brother Wang, long time no see. Brother Wang, what brings you here? Aren't these jobs handled by your subordinates? He said warmly. This time, I came personally to ask for a favor. I brought a girl with me. I want you to arrange the easiest position for her. I handed him a cigarette. He peeked out and looked at Han Ningxuang, then smiled. You've taken a liking to her? I didn't deny it. Then why don't you have her work at your shop? The shop is fully staffed, and I'm not divorced yet. His smile faded, and he patted my shoulder. Brother Wang, that woman is useless. Get divorced as soon as possible. The best revenge is to make yourself better. Make her regret it. His words shook me. Lu Li, what am I going to do with you? Think about it carefully. Don't give up on your own lop for her sake. He reminded me. This girl is very pretty. You need to make a decision soon. Otherwise, once she becomes someone else's girlfriend, you'll regret it. I clenched my fist. I won't. I'll handle my own affairs. Once I'm clean, I'll go after her. Wang Yu shook his head. He walked into the next office. Then Wang Yu arranged a clerical position for Han Ningxuang. The salary and benefits were decent. After all, I used my connections. I sat in the car, smoking. There were 5 or 6 cigarette butts on the ground. My feelings for Han Ningxuang were just fondness, not lop yet. But my hatred for Lu Li was real. However, Wang Yu's words struck a chord with me. Maybe I really should let her go, and let myself go too. Forget it, let's divorce. My future can't be wasted on her. Once I figured it out, the sadness on my face faded. Half an hour later, Han Ningxuang ran out excitedly. Wang Lin, thank you for finding me such a good job. I'm glad you're satisfied, I said with a smile. Where will you stay? Dormitory or outside? She hesitated. I'm not used to crowded dorms. Are there any rentals nearby? There are some right here. It's a 20-minute commute. Rent is around 500. I pointed at the nearby buildings. Thank you. She picked up her luggage, ready to go. I called out to her. Let me take you. I'll help you trek it out so the landlord doesn't rip you off. She couldn't refuse, so she got into my car. Then I took her to rent a 1-bedroom apartment. After that, I helped her buy everything she needed. We were busy until 4 p.m. Wang Lin, thank you. Let me treat you to dinner, she said gratefully. No need. I have an appointment to discuss something. Another time. She looked a bit disappointed. Oh cool, go ahead. After dropping her off, I drove to the coffee shop I'd arranged with Yan Yu. About 20 minutes later, Yan Yu showed up. She made a fist gesture at me and walked in. Wang Lin, since you're no longer under me, you've gotten bold. You dared to flirt with me on the phone. She sat down and pretended to be angry. Then I asked if he was interested in switching jobs, but he had concerns too. He didn't know about the work environment at that company. I'll check out the work environment and policies for you. Oh cool, gather the info and I'll take a look. If I'm not satisfied, forget it. You're trying to make money off me. You owe me compensation. I'll treat you to a big meal. Order whatever you want. Not now. I've already had dinner. Next time. Just then, my phone buzzed with a notification. It was a message from Han Ningxuang. Wang Lin, thank you for today. I wanted to treat you to dinner, but you ran off. She also attached a picture of some snacks. Yen Yu curiously clicked on it. I took a few photos and sent them over, laughing. This little sister is quite pretty. How did you get her number? I snatched my phone back. Sister Yen, don't mess with me. Han Ningxuang quickly replied. Wang Lin, is this your girlfriend? She's very pretty and has class. No, she's my former bot. I had something to discuss with her. I explained. She definitely won't believe that explanation. Yen Yu laughed. It's your fault. All my good impressions are ruined. You owe me compensation. How about I give myself to you? She joked. Forget it. I can't handle that. Are you saying I'm not pretty enough? A dangerous glint flickered in her eyes. The hair on the back of my neck stood up. Sister Yen, you're too beautiful. I'm not worthy of you. You're stunning. A real beauty. A national treasure. Those words describe you. Sitting in the car, I wiped the cold sweat off my forehead. I spent half an hour quoting classics to flatter Yen Yu. Only then did she let me off. This woman is so annoying. I can't beat her, or I'd make her kneel and sing conquer. I lit a cigarette and took out my phone. Han Ningxuang hadn't replied. I sighed. I sent a message. Get some rest early. You have to work tomorrow. She immediately replied with an Oku emoji. A slight smile curled at my lips. Looks like she's not mad. I got home. Lu Li was sitting at the dining table, looking at her phone. Several dishes were laid out on the table. Honey, you're back. You haven't eaten, have you? She put down her phone and took off my jacket for me. You don't have to wait for me from now on. Eat first. I have something to discuss with you later, I said coldly. Her hand, taking off my jacket, paused. Worry was written all over her face. Honey, what do you want to talk about? Eat first. I walked to the table and started eating. I ate a few bites quickly. Then I sat on the sofa and lit a cigarette. Lu Li stood in front of me. The smoke just hit her face. Honey, what do you want to say? She asked softly. I closed my eyes and took a drag of my cigarette. Lu Li, let's get a divorce. She looked up at me, shocked and furious. Why? Wasn't I good enough? I'm carrying your child. And now you want a divorce? I don't agree. It's useless. Your disagreement doesn't matter. I've made up my mind. Don't drag this to court. Let's save some face. Is it because of Lu Xing? He roared. I opened my eyes and said calmly, you look ugly when you're angry. Just tell me, dead or no. I have nothing to do with him. Divorce is something I've thought through. Think calmly. Divorce is best for both of us. I'll hear your answer tomorrow morning. Then she grabbed my leg and begged. Honey, don't go. I don't want a divorce. Forgive me for the Bibai's sake. I promise I'll behave from now on. I'll do whatever you say. I was unmoved. Lu Li, you destroyed our relationship. You have no right to beg me. I pulled her hands away. I walked straight out. Wang Lin, if you leave, I'll kill myself. He fell to the ground and shouted. Do as you please. I'll come back tomorrow morning to collect your body. I closed the door and sat in the car, a trace of sadness on my face. More than that, relief. 3 or 4 years of feelings ending is fine. Then I called my father-in-law. Dad, this is the last time I call you that. Thank you for your care over the years. I plan to divorce Lu Li. Why? Weren't things fine before? No, why? No love anymore? Forcing it is just pretending. I'm tired. After saying that, I hung up. At home, Lu Li sat dazed in the messy living room. Her phone kept ringing. She grabbed it and threw it against the wall. The phone shattered into pieces. Then I called Shanhai out for drinks to drown my sorrows. Brother Lin, you figured it out. That kind of woman, you don't lack one. But she once occupied my whole heart. That was then. She wasted your love herself. Dwelling on the past is useless. Betrayal in marriage is the most shameful. Once disloyal, never again. She's pregnant. I know. Only a month, not even formed yet. After the divorce, she'll handle it herself. You don't need to feel guilty. A complex smile appeared on my face. I don't know if it's sadness or joy. Life's a mess. I worked hard to earn money for the family. And in the end, this is the result. Are all women hard to please? Complain when there's no money. Busy making money. Then complain no one's around. Brother Lin, that's reality. Nowadays, everything's about money. Online says the rich end up together. The poor just watch it happen. You can make money. You won't lack women. What you lack is someone truly willing to grow old with you. If Lu Li isn't worthy, find someone who is. Chin Hai was drunk and talking more. Yeah, the rich end up together. The poor just watch. Making money is key. Last night, I drank until I threw up and kept going. I don't even remember how it ended. Rubbing my throbbing head, I got up. The surroundings were unfamiliar, not a hotel. I just wanted to hurry back and finish the wedding. I got up but couldn't find the bathroom. I opened the door and walked out. A fragrance came over. I saw Li Xiu. Wang Lin, you're awake. She put down the porridge spoon and came over. Why drink so much? Yesterday, I was afraid you'd drink yourself to death. Xiu, is this your home? How did you bring me here? You were drunk as a dog. You called me to pick you up, she said scornfully. If I weren't afraid no one would pay me, I wouldn't have brought you back. So and thank you for yesterday. I smiled awkwardly. I turned to leave. What's the rush? Look at the sleep in your eyes. Your hair's a mess, lie a bird's nest. Are you really going out lie that? The bathroom's over there. Go wash up. She grabbed me. I touched the corner of my eye, wishing I could crawl into a hole. I fled into the bathroom. I grabbed a towel to wipe my face. I turned and saw Li Xiu standing at the door, blushing. Are you trying to die? Using my bath towel to wipe your face. On purpose? She snatched the towel, embarrassed and angry. So I'm used to it. I forgot this is your home. I explained awkwardly. She threw me a new towel. Don't touch my stuff again. Then she left with the towel I used. I quickly washed up and left the bathroom. Facing Li Xiu, I blushed. Xiu, thank you. I'll go now. I made millet porridge. Drink some before you go. It was hard to refuse, so I sat down. I'm not going to work today. But, you handle it. She brought out 2 small dishes. I won't deduct your pay. I drank the porridge guiltily. Why did you drink so much yesterday? Because of your wife. I put down the spoon. Sort of, but it's already handled. She's no longer my wife. I'm single now. Here's your chance to chase me. Better seize it. I joked. Get lost. You're dreaming. She rolled her eyes and ignored me. Back home, the living room was a mess. I kicked some debris and walked in. Lu Li sat on the sofa, motionless. What have you decided? I asked calmly. She still didn't move. I reached out and touched her. Only then did she, with red eyes and a hoarse voice, say, don't push me, Oku. We had years of feelings. Let's part amicably. It's best for both of us. Wang Lin, did you ever lot me? I paused for a moment, then nodded. Debt. But only before you messed up. You think I'm dirty. Physical dirt doesn't matter. If I minded, I wouldn't have touched you. What matters is your heart changed. You're no longer the Lu Li I knew. My love for you is gone. Forcing it now. To me, you're no different from a fling. No longer a wife, let alone a partner. Is that so? She murmured, eyes dazed. I took out the divorce papers. Lu Li, let go. I don't want to drag this out. Sign it. She snatched the papers and tore them up. I didn't stop her. Tearing them is useless. I have plenty more. Today, this divorce is happening. I don't agree. I won't sign. She snapped. Is there any point? Whether you sign or not, the divorce is happening. It'll just be more trouble. We don't have to end up like this. We had feelings once. A mutual divorce is best for everyone, just best for you. Look at the gossip about me online. If I get divorced, what will I do? Do you want me to die? She shouted. I got angry too. You brought this on yourself. Did I tell you to cheat? Did I force you? What right do you have to blame me? You're the one who wronged me. Lu Li suddenly went quiet. Thank you for still giving me over 200,000. It's nothing. Consider it payment for sleeping with me all these years. I sneered. She clenched her fists, glaring at me fiercely. What do you take me for? A streetwalker? No, you're worse than them. They do it for money. What's your excuse? She gritted her teeth and signed. I signed, but the money isn't enough. I'm carrying your child. You have to take responsibility. I'll give you another 50,000 as compensation. After this, we're even. She gave a cold laugh. One last question. Did you ever betray me? I put away the papers. Not before. Afterward, at least 5 women. So you're no better than me. In this marriage, we both betrayed each other. If thinking that makes you feel better, I don't mind. I said indifferently. Pack up and go to the Civil Affairs Bureau. Can you tell me why you suddenly want a divorce? I ignored her and walked out with the papers. Just as I got downstairs, my in-laws blocked me. Xiao Wang, what did you mean by that call yesterday? Why the sudden divorce? Did Lu Li do something wrong again? My father-in-law asked. No, it's a hurdle I can't get over. Ever since her incident, I've been thinking about divorce. I only made up my mind today. We're going to the Civil Affairs Bureau. If you want to come, get in the car. My tone was calm and distant. Lu Li came out and hung her head in shame seeing her parents. My father-in-law slapped her. Lu Li, what mess have you made now? She covered her face and wiped the blood from her lip, stubbornly looking at her father. This is my business. Stay out of it. My father-in-law gasped, clutching his chest. My mother-in-law quickly soothed him. Old Lu, don't get worked up. Lu Li's tone softened. Dad, don't interfere. He wants a divorce. No matter how much I grovel, I can't change it. Better to divorce than lie so humbly. I watched coldly from the side. When my father-in-law got agitated, I raised my hand to comfort him. After a moment's hesitation, I put it down. We're getting divorced. She and her mother are no longer my concern. I don't want to get dragged back in. Honestly, I liked the old couple 100 times more than Lu Li. I felt a little reluctant inside. Lu Hua caught his breath, pointed at Lu Li, unable to speak for a long time. More and more onlookers gathered. I was a bit annoyed. Let's talk about this at home. Lu Li still has to come with me to the bureau. If you're coming, get in. I'm busy. I don't have time to waste. Lu Hua glanced at me. Helplessly, he lowered his hand. Forget it. I won't meddle in your affairs. Xu Qin, let's go. She understood. I want a divorce, but he couldn't bring himself to tell me to stay with Lu Li. Too shameful. At that moment, he almost hated himself for being poor. Maybe with money, he could have kept me. Wang Xiuqin looked at Lu Li, then at me, letting out a sigh. She stepped forward and hugged me. Xiao Wang, you're a good kid. I won't persuade you or blame you. My daughter isn't good enough for you. My heart stirred slightly. I opened my mouth, but only coldness remained. Mom, you were a great mother-in-law. Lu Li's mistakes won't be blamed on you. Take care of yourselves. I'm not made of stone. I can't be completely heartless. Wang Xiuqin gave me one last look, then turned and followed Lu Hua. I coldly looked at Lu Li. Let's go. She glanced at her parents' retreating figures, then at the pointing crowd. Calmly opened the car door and got in. I lit a cigarette and got in too. Rolled down the window and tossed the barely smoked cigarette. Maybe out of habit. Maybe as a last kindness to her. We arrived at the Civil Affairs Bureau at 10 in the morning. I handed over the divorce papers and IDs. The staff put everything away, looked at us and offered mediation. Are you sure? Fate is hard to come by. Don't act impulsively and regret it. I gave a warm smile. I'm sure meeting the wrong person at the right time, passing by is also a kind of fate. Lu Li suddenly felt some regret, but couldn't bring herself to beg me. The staff noticed her hesitation and continued to persuade. Life inevitably has its ups and downs. That's what makes a home. Can you tell me the reason for the divorce? I looked at Lu Li and chuckled. Lu Li, she wants to know the reason. Should I save you some face? The staff understood immediately and stopped asking. Since it's private, I won't pry. But mutual understanding and respect are important. Lu Li bit her lip, tears silently falling. But she didn't beg for forgiveness anymore. She could feel I had completely let go. Not even the thought of revenge remained. The tears seemed to drip into my heart, causing a slight ache. The smile on my face slowly faded. I loved her for 3 or 4 years. I still had the habit of not liking to see her cry. But now, I couldn't care for her anymore. I had barely given up the idea of revenge. How could I fall back into the abyss? Divorce was the best outcome for her. The information is recorded. You have a 30-day cooling-off period. You can cancel the registration anytime if you change your minds. The staff returned the documents. I put them away and said expressionlessly, thank you. I didn't bother with Lu Li and left straight away. She quickly caught up, her eyes red, following behind me. I crouched under a tree outside the bureau and lit a cigarette, watching people come and go. Some with smiles, some with cold faces. It's the start of a new life, and the end of an old one. Everyone has their own shittery. Lu Li, I'll contact you when the house is sold. I walked toward the car without looking back. Lu Li reached out to stop me, but the words stuck in her throat. Watching the car drive away, she collapsed on the ground, crying silently. The pitiful often have their hateful sides. She did this to herself. She destroyed what was most precious to her. I wandered aimlessly through Nanchang, the city I've lived in for over 20 years. For the first time, I felt so lonely. When sad, I didn't even have a place to rest. A home is a home, because there are people you care about. Without them, it's just a house of concrete and bricks. It's over. Everything is over. But Wang Lin is still Wang Lin. During the cooling-off period, I quickly listed the marital home for Zio. It sold for 800,000 in the end, over 200,000 below market price. I called Lu Li to come clean out her belongings. This was our last time alone before the divorce. As Lu Li packed her things, she suddenly hugged me from behind, sobbing uncontrollably, expressing her regret, admitting she shouldn't have let greed sour her judgment. I was silent for a moment, then took out 400,000 in cash and handed it to her, clearly stating this was the final compensation, on the condition that she terminate the pregnancy. Lu Li was very reluctant, but I didn't want any more ties with her. She probably knew, even if she kept the child, there was no chance for us. In the end, she agreed. After I accompanied her to terminate the pregnancy, I sent her back to her hometown to recover. Before leaving, I only said, take care, don't make the same mistakes again. Then I turned and left. Without looking back, I completely cut off this ill-fated relationship. Afterward, I still occasionally visited Han Ningxuang at the Mianyang Electronics factory. After several interactions, I realized I didn't lop her. It was just a protective instinct. Our life experiences and values weren't aligned. Even if I pursued her successfully, it wouldn't last. With that, I completely let go of that protective feeling. Time passed day by day. I devoted all my time to work. Li Xiu was truly excellent. She always thought of the company and me. One day, I had just arrived at the office. Li Xiu hurried over and said, "Wang Lin, I need to talk to you. It's about Nankong Group." Then, Li Xiu logged into her Oatsao on the computer, pulled up a well-organized note and said, "I know you've been gathering info on their company positions. I did some research for you. Their previous sales Managio left due to personal reasons. They also sent some videos of the work environment, and I checked online. Their general Managio, Tenyu, seems like a decent person. Basically no negative news about him, so there shouldn't be any employee mistreatment. Sister Xiu, did you spend your day off looking into this? Wow, I can really feel that strong lady of the house vibe from you. You're so capable and caring. If I were the bot, I'd definitely marry you." Employee Lucy teased from the side. Li Xiu rolled her eyes at her, said in a huff, "Then you better suck up to me, or one day I'll fire you, or dock your pay. Ha ha ha. Sister Lucy, you'll just have to bow to Sister Xiu's tyranny." Li Min laughed from the side. "Sister Xiu, no. I'm so Lucy put on a pitiful face. I didn't take their joke seriously, but I could sense Li Xiu seemed different toward me, and I didn't seem to mind it. After carefully reviewing the materials Li Xiu prepared, I looked up and said, "Xiu, thank you. This is exactly what I needed to show sincerity." I went to deliver the materials to in person the next day, ensuring this 100,000 yuan deal would go through. To thank the employees for their hard work, I treated the whole team to a big meal. During the meal, Li Xiu said to me privately, "This is a group treat. You have to treat me separately." I smiled and agreed. Later, I successfully earning the 100,000 yuan fee. A few days later, Chen Hai took Li Xiu to a food stall. Li Xiu, emboldened by alcohol, hinted, "After the divorce, it's time to think about a new life. The person close to you is pretty good." I pretended not to understand and changed the subject. Li Xiu casually mentioned the house CEO, calculated that I lost over 200,000. Only then did I realize I'd been cheated by a real estate agent, but I didn't want to waste more energy on it. I chose to let it go. Chen Hai noticed Li Xiu's feelings and quietly kicked me under the table, signaling me to seize the opportunity. The atmosphere among the three became subtle. When my eyes met Li Xiu's, there was an unspoken emotion. A year later, with Chen Hai and Li Xiu's help, the company's business steadily grew. As I spent more time with Li Xiu, our relationship became very subtle. Lu Xing would occasionally come by to bother me, but I always remained calm, never giving her hope. After that, I planned to buy a new house. I took the initiative to invite Li Xiu to look at properties. With her bargaining skills and knowledge of the market, she helped me knock 250,000 off the price, saving me a considerable amount. After signing the purchase contract, I joked, "I'll leave the interior design to you, since we'll be living together," hinting at our relationship. Li Xiu blushed and shyly replied, "It depends on you." When I first got the property deed, I only put my name on it. Li Xiu teased, "Always a businessman, keeping your options open." We joked with each other. The romantic tension kept building. As we left the property center, Li Xiu stood on her tiptoes and kissed me. That kiss officially started our relationship. I immediately pulled her back to the property center and added Li Xiu's name to the deed. We chose a renovation company together. When deciding on the style, I completely respected Li Xiu's preferences, fully supporting her ideas. During the renovation, Li Xiu and I public our relationship. The employees all applauded. Lu Xing happened to come by that day. Though she was especially disappointed, she could only silently wish her well. Someone so smart probably knew I wouldn't choose her. She just didn't want to give up. Now it was time for her to step back completely. Chen Hai patted me on the shoulder, genuinely happy that I had moved on and found happiness. Our company, Deer in Human Resources, gained a better reputation. Partner factories kept increasing. Business was thriving. After Lily left Nanchang with 400,000 compensation, she completely disappeared. No one knew where she went. No one mentioned that past anymore. 2 years later, Li Xiu and I got married. After the wedding, we had a lovely child. Our family was happy. Life was